Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the alignment session for this team. I'm so blessed to be able to do this. Melissa, it looks like you're trying to raise your hand to record, but your device won't let you record. So I will record a copy for you. Thank you guys so much, everybody, for being in here. I'm so super blessed to be able to do this for you guys. You have no idea. This is my life, is helping people become successful in theirs. A little bit about me. I used to be a guy who had basically just trying to work my way through sales, work my way through jobs. A friend of mine from high school, this little know-it-all like kid, Balaj, he was such a weirdo. He had like a white suit for his grad. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? And like, he's a friend of mine from high school. And so he was getting into this business and I'm like, I got to get in this. Water stuff? Sure, I like water. What is it, like $800? Sure, why not? And then I went to go pay the bill, and he's like, no, man, it's $8,000. You're buying the trifecta. And I'm like, I'd already committed, but I was still a little scared to get involved. I mean, obviously we all are, right? This is a big investment. You don't know what's going to happen, but we all think we're going to do something powerful with it. So I ended up getting involved in this business, and then about like 6-7 months later, it's kind of dragging my feet a little bit, really not feeling this whole understanding of how to make it happen. He's like, dude, you got to check out this stuff, numerology. I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm like, that sounds kind of neat. I kind of already knew numerology a little bit, but I'm like, what do you mean check it out? He's like, yeah, I put a W in my name, and things started to fly, and they haven't stopped since. And I'm like, intriguing, interesting. So, because I've always read numerology, I never actually wrote numerology. I always read it. I was always just, hey, this is what you get. This is who you are. This is what you have in your life. And so look at Angie's taking a photo of this. Cool. I appreciate you doing that. For all you guys, super blessed if you guys share the shit out of this on your social media, if you share your experience, only if it's good. If it's bad, please don't say anything. Just kidding. But the reality is, if you guys feel like you want to share this with your audiences and with the people around you, I would be so super blessed to get this around to more people. And also, I got some gifts and goodies for you guys, but you got to work for them. So in case I do see a post that I'm tagged with, or in case you guys go live, or in case you guys do something fun on social media, Instagram, mention me in your story, whatever it is, take a snapshot, a picture, or even just a really massive golden nugget that you've learned while we're here, I would be so super grateful, and I'm gonna reward you guys for that, okay? So I will get into gifts and stuff, but back to my story, Balaj is like, yeah, go see this person. Trust me, it's gonna work. And I'm like, all right. So when Balaj says something, you just do it, if anybody knows him. And so I was like, okay, let me go figure this out. So then I went to go and get my numerology session done, my very first time. And it blew my freaking mind. Here I am like, what? Huh? What do you mean? How do you know that? Stop it. And I was like freaking out because I'm like, how does this person know everything about me? And they don't know anything about me except for my name and my birthday. And it sent me on like a weird like thing in my head. I was like this for like 3 days. If you're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure this thing out here. And I didn't know what to do because I felt like my whole world was just like upside down. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like how, so what about fate? Like, what about free will? What about, how does the world know what I'm going to be just because of my birthday and my name? And I was like, do it again. So I went for another session. And I'm like, I don't understand. And I talked about, we went through all my relationships and we went through how my parents treated me and we went through everything. I'm like, again. And then eventually my numerologist like, are we ever going to talk about you or are we just going to talk about everyone else? And I recognized that I needed to really focus in on my self journey, my personal development, and how I needed to grow. We put a letter in my name that was, yeah, sure, business was there. But my real goal was to become a dad, to get married, to become a family owner and have my own kids. Because up until this point, it was drugs, alcohol, partying, video games, bad food, early, late at night, early in the morning, late at night kind of thing, and not being able to hold a job. Like that was like my briefcase of things that I carried with me in my life. Okay, so it wasn't too impressive, but no wonder my business wasn't doing anything. I was too busy having a self-entitled self-pity party. So this name, and it's funny because it said it in my name, self-attack, there it is. Gives everything away to other people, doesn't love himself. There it is. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, I don't like this story anymore. I want to change it. So I ended up taking a letter in my name, and basically an F is A, B, C, D, E, F. Like it's like 6 pumps of like steps to go up, okay? So we basically take my name and we cranked it 6 degrees. And from there, I started to gain success in my business. Hey, suddenly I started to coach people in numerology. Hey, suddenly I'm hitting 4A, I hit 5A. Suddenly, hey, I've got a team around me. Suddenly I find love in my life. And next thing you know, 3 years later, everything started to have like turned over. And I'll tell you something, if you spent 30 years of your life messing and mucking around, 3 years is nothing, okay? Like it happens so quickly. And so in case any of you pick big names and you're like, ooh, I want the big one, give me the big name. The bigger name you pick, the more it's going to be imperative that you consider this seriously, that you take on your own learning path, your learning curve, and that you really, take ownership of that. If you want a quick little fast name, sure, you'll get some success right now, but you'll most likely want to change it later, okay? So there's nothing wrong with stepping into an outfit you need right now, like you guys have triathlons out there, like the swimming and the running and the biking. You're going to need your swimsuit for the pool. You're going to need your bike outfit for your bike, and you'll need your running shoes. They're different components. The same thing with your business. You're going to need some to get you started. You're probably going to want to have that momentum start building. And then once you have a team, you're probably going to want to see things fly. You're going to want to step into leader. You want to step into bigger version of you. Some of you have already come from other businesses. Some of you have already made some powerful work happen in your life. So you guys have already done this. You've already, given birth and become parents and all that kind of stuff. So some of you guys are already expressing values in your life that are past your beginner stage. So we'll talk about this. When we get everybody names, I want to do for you what I did, what I had done for myself, which was put me on the right track. Put me on the right track. Put me back on the road and put me where I need to be so that I'm not consistently self-sabotaging myself. And a lot of you guys were saying things like this. I get started on things, but I can't finish them. I get afraid when I talk about my business. I've never done this before. Procrastination's a big thing. Oh, nobody wants to listen to me, and I'm afraid, and this and that. And it's like, it's the same story. It's not because I'm looking for something new. I haven't found anything new. We're all dealing with the fear of acceptance, the fear of authenticity, and we're feeling like we don't know what we're doing here. And it plagues us all. So you guys are not alone. One of the biggest reasons why I ask everybody to do this in front of everyone else is so that you can see it and everybody knows, hey, I'm not alone. I'm dealing with all this stuff. If there's one thing that you guys are going to learn first or go through here tonight, is that you're not alone. There are other people who are going through this stuff as well. So we get a chance to kumbaya this together and actually sit by the campfire and share our horror stories, share our war stories, show our scars, and help move us back into profitability, into power. This is unique other than a private session. In a private session, I'm looking at, let's do this in an hour and let's tell your story and do it the justice it deserves. What's your birth name, the long version, the short version, the inside, the outside, your middle name, your maiden name, your birthday. It's very comprehensive. Inside of a group, but it's private, me and you, that's it, let's do this. Or you and your spouse, couples, right? Or we're doing this in a group session. I like to think that the magnetism in a group session mastermind is through the roof because not only do you guys get a chance to see everyone's chart, but everyone gets a chance to see yours. And that it's like lifting a car with 20 people. You could line up 20 people and one at a time, 2 people aren't going to lift it. But if you put 20 of us all together, we can lift the car that's gotten on top of you. Now, this car is my parents hit me or hurt me or did something to me when I was a kid. I got into fights at school. I had trouble in learning, or I had this or that, or I had brothers and sisters from hell. I had problems or I came in from adopted, or my parents abandoned me, or something happened to build a story around why you don't feel worthy, or why you don't feel accepted, or why you don't feel powerful or profitable, or why we just can't figure it out. I'd like to look to the technical information around this so that I can actually see, well, here is the reason why this part of your name doesn't quite work. So some of us are going to look at this and get the name they need, and they're going to run off, and they're going to have their business set for them, and that's all you'll need. You'll just need this little bit of pep talk, this coaching, this understanding of numerology, and then a new name, and you're good. Okay? Other of you will use this as a start, but then get super curious and be like, you know what, I kind of need to work with Bobby. I need to get into this. And just in case anyone's like, there it is, there's that upsell, I'm going to take off this price from your private booking. So if you want to book with me because you're here and you've invested in me, I'm investing that back into you and I'm taking it off of your total price. So you're not going to have to pay twice. Okay, this is it. This is like, and if you don't use your discount, guys, you're going to be able to give it to someone else. So either you pay it forward or I pay it forward, but someone's going to pay it forward here because I want you guys to become magnetically successful. Imagine this. I know someone's doing this right now. Man, when I get really super big and powerful, I'm going to do this for my team. I'm going to make sure I got 20 of my guys all coming in here and getting this stuff done together. This is powerful stuff. And if you don't feel that yet, then you will soon. Don't worry, I get you. But the reality here, guys, is that we're here to create success in your life. Success isn't just wealth. It is also romantic. It is also intimate. It is also personal. It's also spiritual success. It's also humanitarian community success. You may have a bunch of different definitions of what it looks like. This is why we take the time to figure out what exactly letter is supposed to be there for you to use. When we go through this in an hour, I'm pretty satisfied. But in a group session, if I can get this under 3 hours, I will be so grateful. I will promise to not try to take this much longer than it needs to be. But when there's this many people, I'm not surprised why it sometimes goes into the upper ends of 4 hours. So if in case it does, I'm so sorry, and I appreciate you guys. I promise I got so many funny jokes. I'll say so many cool things. We're having a great time, and I promise it's going to just fly by. You're going to come back out of this being like, that was information overload. If it's information overload, it's all good. I am recording this. You will get a chance to see this later. I do recommend that you do. I will give you an audio for your car. You get a video for you to study if you want. There is going to be a very massive amount of value in here that we're going to get by you guys graciously, honorably accepting this invitation to let us walk and dance through your own personal private garden. And in case anyone's like, oh, shoot, don't do that, I get it. I understand. We keep a lot of this in, but you're going to see someone else. We're going to talk about someone else, and then you're going to be like, oh, man, that's totally me. So, yeah, and then we're going to be able to talk about them while you get value for your life. Okay, that's how this works. There are 9 numbers, all right? There's 9 numbers, and there's already, like, what, 20 people in here, something like this, or 16 or something, if you want to look at this. There's a lot of people in here. There's going to be some overlap. That's just every one of you guys has about 30 to 40 different numbers in your chart, okay? We're going to look at about 9 of them, about 9 to 12 of them each. So we're going to get a chance to see a cross-section, but not the in-depth cave diving that I would absolutely suggest that every single one of you consider. If it's not for you, then at least for someone you love. But this information helps people to get over some seriously difficult things in life. And I'm absolutely just committed to my passion for this. If you guys can't tell, you're going to feel this for sure. And I appreciate you, all of you, so much for, that's money, guys. I know that I charged you guys Australian, but that's still dollars. That's still time and effort and energy. And after you already spend this all every single month, and there's your ad budget, and then $10,000 in debt, you bought the Quadfecta and or Quadzilla, oh my God. And all of this stuff, it gets pricey. Welcome to being an entrepreneur. You invest in yourself, and whether it's with me, whether it's with Troy, whether it's with Glenn, or who else works, Craig does amazing work, pick some coaches. Pick some people. Imagine if you were to become a millionaire earner, okay, multi-millionaire or something in this business. That's athlete money, right? Professional athletes hire a team of people to listen to. So don't think it's weird. Don't think, oh, this is just a big money grab circle. You're investing in yourself, and you'll hear this. If this isn't the first time, you'll hear this again. And if this is the first time, when you hear it again, you'll be like, Bobby was right. You spend 10% of your wealth on personal development, okay? The successful people, you want to make $1 million, spend $100,000 on your personal development. So when you do this, it should turn into wealth for you. But you have to keep on investing in yourself. It's not just a one-time go. And there's a wonderful feeling in learning personal development, quote unquote, right? This is literally personal development. This is literally your numbers, your chart, your life. And I'm blessed to be able to do this for you guys, okay? So this is what's going to look. This is how it's going to look. we're going to go through the definitions. We're going to go through 1 to 9. I'm going to paint the picture for you guys so you guys get to see all of the different numbers that show up. And along the path, I'm going to pick on who's got the number so that you guys can see it. I'm going to show you this chart. This is what we were working on before, and everybody said it was okay. But if by chance there was a spelling mistake or an error in the date, we'll fix it. Okay, we're good. So what we'll do is we're going to share my screen. We're going to have some fun. This is going to be awesome. Oh, what a beautiful rainbow of souls right here. This is amazing. I'm just going to delete these rows. What an amazing row of souls. Like, honestly, guys, like, you guys got to, like, look at this and be like, oh, my God, I don't know what I'm looking at. When I look at this, I'm like, no, you guys actually have some serious power. I know, Tina, I need to get yours. It was Tina Marie Wagner as birth. Do you mind unmuting yourself really quickly for this? If you could unmute yourself and just let me know, or maybe you can write it in the chat and just let me know. Hey, so what were you born as?
Franklin.
Franklin. So it's Tina Marie Franklin.
Yes, Franklin.
Okay, good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly just update this so I know where you're at. And when we're looking at these numbers, these 3-digit codes, right? I've tried to explain this as best as quickly as I can. Vowels plus consonants equal the total. 8 plus 7 is that doesn't look like it's right. Bad example. But this one here, 911. 9 plus 1 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. Okay? So we're gonna go, like in this case, Tina Marie Franklin. Okay? So I'll show you guys this straight up here. So 854. So we have all of the vowels, when we add them up, equal up to 8. When we add up all the consonants, it equals out to 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 4 equals or 1 plus 3 equals 4, okay? So then we have Lucia. Okay, so we're going to see Lucia's numbers here. And are we all here by any chance? If you're not here, raise your hand. Just kidding. So what we're going to see here is really powerful. Okay, I like this. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly update this to make sure that I know. When I look at these color codes, I'm looking for things that show up in mastery, or things that show up that work well, or things that show up that are in alignment. So when I look at, I'll show you the different color codes here so you guys can get in with this. Because I know this is like, I don't really understand this. This is really for me. This isn't for you guys. This is so that I know when I'm looking at stuff. When I'm looking at, there's one set of codes here. This is the challenge that we're experiencing, is that most of these names are not helping you. They're not communicating with you properly in business. They need alignment. There's a severe challenge, or it works too hard. Some of you got some good names in here, okay? So some of you guys are blessed with that, but most of us are showing up with like, hey, I got to figure this out. Then I take a look at these column E and column B. This is a color code so that I know where everyone is, okay? I'm looking at the numbers 1 through 9, and I've color coded them so that I know when I see a life path 6, when I see Lucia, when I see Bruce, when I see Marija, I also know that Lucia is going to be a name path 6. So I know this is a bit confusing. Don't pay attention to this. But if you are color coded, then of course this is going to help you. At the end of this, we want to look like this. We want to look like this. We want to look like this. We want to look powerful. We want to look like we're in the mastery. Okay, we want to look like we're balanced. We don't want to look like most of us are in the red. So for you guys, there's going to be like a strike down of power that happens because of this. This is going to be where we focus on the first part of our time together is, so what do these numbers mean? Like, let's just make sure that we all have them. And just so you guys know, I'm going to pick on someone who's here that I've worked with. I think I saw Tracy, but that might be a bad example because I did Tracy's numbers in person. So I don't believe Tracy's going to be here. But you know what? Let's pick on Sarah because she's not here. Or maybe even everybody you got added in here because of Shar. So let's go and let's take a look at Shar's number.
Hey, Bobby, I'm listening.
Hey, Tracy, how are you?
Thanks, yourself.
Great. Thank you so much for being here and holding the energy space with us. I appreciate you so much for this. I did your numbers in person. So yes. I don't have your chart here on my page, so I can't pick on you just yet. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you guys what an actual inner chart looks like. Okay, so when I work with someone, I'm pulling out their first name, their last name, their middle name, their birthday, and it looks a little different. We itemize everything separately. Inside of our group together, however, we're looking at a cross-section of a few of your important names. This name is the one you were born with. This is the one you had at the moment of birth. This is not your adopted name or your remarried name or your married name. This is the original gangster over here, okay? So we got power inside of these numbers, but you're not changing these, okay? If some of you still have this legally and it needs to be changed and you want to, by all means, ask me the question. It's all good. Your birthday also isn't changing, but your Facebook called name, you're using this with, like, you're putting your vibration on top of an antenna. Your phone is literally a radio. Literally, it's a radio device, and it has a broadcast antenna, and it's boosting the signal through satellite towers and cell phone towers. You're literally expanding your signal by the name that you use on your social media. So when people see this name and it's no good, they're identifying you in the universe with a vibration that doesn't speak to power. So we want to make sure that you guys are going to get a name that you can use wherever you introduce yourself or go forth. Some of you may not need to or want to change your name. If you got purple, if you're Tina Franklin Wagner, or if you've got green, or even Sashi, there may be a part of you who's like, I don't feel like changing this. It's okay. Whereas Bruce, Melissa, Nicole, Rachel, Marija, Stephanie, and everyone here who's got a yellow or red name, you may consider wanting to change your name for business. When we look at numerology, simply put, we have ones. Who's our life path ones? We have Melissa, life path 1, Sashi, name path 1, Angela, name path 1, Renee, name path 1, anyone in the dark burgundy color. Leaders, independent, powerful, people who don't really care about what other people are going to say. They're the people who are strong, assertive, independent, and they're our leaders, okay? Then we have the number 2. We have, and you'll see, I'm like, hey, wait, Kellyanne has a 1 in there. Nicole's got double 1. She's born on the 1st. Renee has a 1 inside of her year. You'll see a 1 inside of this number as well. You'll see a 1 inside of this number as well. So it applies to a portion of you. It applies to a piece of you. If it shows up in the red, it's not a good version of this. The ones can be blind to themselves or blind to others if it's in red. If it's powerful and it looks like it's in green, or it works for you, then, or it's in a good space, then we're looking at you being able to lead others and others wanting to follow your direction. It's, that's the way of it. If it shows up in the negative, it could be like, oh man, people are so stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They just follow me. They don't understand. And that feeling can be very challenging for your own sense of leadership. So then we have the number 2s. Okay. So when we look at number 2s, where are my life path 2s at? I think Rachel is a 2. And then also we have, I think that's it for 2s. 11s will also show up as 2s. But we have 2s in February 1973. We show it here in May 20th. So 2s will show up. Any name path 2s? We have Rachel Deacon is a name path 2. Marija Histova is a name path 2. So there's a value inside of this being partners, people who connect with others, diplomatic people, tactful. They speak well with others. They're good conversation to have. They're good friends. They take care of people. They want a win-win-win. And then on the bad side, even at the expense of themselves. I fall into this very much myself. I sacrifice my time, no problem. If there's one thing that I know about Sarah's team, it's that I'm getting up late at night to talk to you guys. Or it's like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, sweet, yeah, no, I'm in there, I'm doing it. And like, she's like, we can set our schedule around you. I'm like, no, the show must go on. Let's do this. And that's what I want. I want to commit, and I want to give myself and my all to the other. That's basically what I do. So if you guys are looking for a mentor or a coach to help you through the more navigating of the more spiritual sides of you, I am there to hold your hand. I'm there to hold your bag. I'm there as a good shopping buddy who's not going to just be like, can we go now? It'll be like, look, I saw a sale over there. Let's go check it out. I'm there with you guys, and I'm there to help this energy move forward. This is why we love the 2s. Well, I love the 2 because that's me. Then we have the 3s. So where are my 3s at? So we've got Melanie is the only name life path 3. And if we see a 3 inside of here, Lucia, Empowered, Mommy Mel, The threes that show up negative, Stephanie Holgate, they're challenging us. They're not working for us properly, okay? Where we see life path threes, we see sweetheart, darling, very fun, very charming. They're great friends. They want to make everybody feel good. They're just all about the love. We look at this number, and we're going to just take a look here as we introduced you guys. These are junior numbers, 1, 2, and 3. All are smaller baby numbers about the self, the present moment, and how do I, feel good right now. So when we look at the 3, we get an interesting concept where the love starts to flow. We look at this as a story of a family here. The 1 is the self. The 2 is the partner. So I am going to be in love one day. And then 2, hey, look, I fell in love. And then 3, hey, look, let's have a baby. And then, hey, 4, we have to build a house now. And then 5, oh my God, I have a house and kids running in it. And then 6, it's like, oh, I get a little bit older and my kids are getting older and they, there's presents in there. And then we have the bigger numbers in the advanced levels. We'll get there in a minute. But this is where love starts to come forth, okay? So we have people who are going to be loving, charming, sweetheart, and they care. And they absolutely care more about others than they will about themselves. This is challenging to be taken seriously in business, especially let's say Bruce was born in March, or Melissa or Rachel was also born in December. So we have values of these people who are going to show up fun, enjoyable, but maybe they might not have too serious of a work ethic. It might be like, oh, this isn't getting me results right away. And maybe it hurts to be wrong, so I don't want to be wrong. And the 3 just wants everybody else to be happy. So a 3 with this business is a very fragile thing, because next thing you know, you take this to your family and they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, yeah, you're right. I should probably just put this thing down. And I'm stupid me. I'm never going to do business again. And if you've got a massive amount of 3s bugging you in the wrong space, you're probably feeling what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a 3. We get love and joy from you guys, so we love having you around. There's artistry, but there may be a challenge there about getting serious. Then, speaking of serious, the life path 4. We have all of the yellow names. Coincidentally, all of the yellow names here and all of the names here are going to be yellow that all have a 4 in them. It simply put, works too hard. Now, we like this because my wife, Sally, is a life path 4. So Tina, Sashi, Kellyanne, Tina again, Stephanie, you guys have powerful abilities to create stability, structure, foundation, hard work, practical, logical. When you see a 4, and just quickly sidebar here, if you know your clients' numbers, you know how to talk to them. You know how to help them. You know exactly what language they need to be speaking in order for you to be speaking their vibe here, okay? But sidebar, you don't push a 4. A 4 needs to dive in. They want to know all the details. They want to account into everything and cross-check and audit everything. And so the way you win over a 4 is you say you take your time. There's a lot to study. I get that you want to make the right decision. I trust that you will make the right decision when you come around to it. But it's accepting the process that this person wants to go through every page and look at it. Oh, what's there? And they just want to know everything. And that can take its sweet time creating success in business, because, it's like, I'm going to do it myself. Or no. If you want something done right, you do it yourself. And so there's going to be a lack of support for others or from others, because the 4 is like, I can't trust anyone else with this. So we see the 4s in the charts. I have it inside of my 22. Some people, you guys may show up with the 22. Melissa does. That's so that doesn't kick in a little bit later for us. We're both born in the same year. But if you see 4s in your chart, we're going to expect that, BS doesn't fly very far with you, okay? There's no high in the pie sky ideas that someone's going to wow you and dazzle you. No, you need to see the real raw data. We like that vibe, okay? So we can trust the 4. You say you're going to be there, you're going to be there. You say you're going to do some, you're going to do some. You're not going to complain when the going gets tough. You're going to welcome that, because the 4 is going to be dedicated and disciplined. So it's a good number. But if you notice, when I'm looking at it inside here, every time I see a 4, it's either red for unbalanced. It's like, it works well. I'm like, or it works too hard. Okay, that's it. Even Renee J. Jones, that's actually a good one. We like it, but I don't usually lean on something like that right away, especially since Renee's got a life path 8. this might be bugging you a little bit. Okay, so this is also limiting belief. The 4 is like an experience calculator. So if you haven't done it yet, then the 4 inside of you is like, well, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what I'm talking about. So I have no authority, authenticity, so I can't speak on power, and that means I can't sell my business. And it'll just weave that whole story in a matter of minutes, because if someone says, well, what about this? And you're like, well, I don't know that yet. Suddenly you lose posture in business. So you guys got to get real with the idea that there's a lot of the studying inside of a 4, but at the same time, you can't study your way into riding a bike. You have to actually go there and scratch your knees a bit. And the 4 wants to study it all completely before it takes the first step. So we're blessed to have you guys, because we know that you're going to be very close attention to detail, but at the same time, you may be tired, exhausted. And for those of you with massive 4s, my back hurts for you. Okay, so I know that you're physically dealing with exhaustion in the 4, because it's the thankless work of the 4 to be the foundation for stuff. So speaking of the thankless work, let's talk about the fun and the enjoyment, and not to say that the 4s ain't fun, but the 5, and where have we got my 5s? We've got not too many 5s here. Jody is a life path 5, and everyone else has a pesky looking 5 in their chart. A lot of really nasty looking 5s in your names. This is going to make a lot of sense for a lot of people here in a very few seconds. 5 is the warrior. It's the champion. So we have value in here for I want to fight something. I want to win. I don't want to lose. I never want to lose. I'm going to be there first. I'm going to do this, and what do I do? What do I do to be successful? What's the thing? And that value inside of a 5 can push someone to acting without ever thinking. It's like, shoot first, never ask questions. Okay, so we see this 5 being a bit of a troublemaker. If it shows up in green, you're good. Okay, so if you see a 358, 516, we're good. But in the or 854, really solid. Okay, Kelly, Switzlowitz, so it is there, shows up powerful. But we're still looking at this 5. It's the anti-version of wealth. Okay, we're going back to our numbers here. I'm just going to share with you guys my setup. So junior numbers, yay! Like the top, the beginning of the street. Okay. Then we step into intermediate numbers. We have values of leadership here. This is value for self. Now this is value for leadership. 4 says, let's work hard together. 5 says, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for you. I'll fight myself. I'll fight anything. I will win. These are our advocates. They will stand up for injustice, against abuse. But ironically enough, are the ones that are taking the most abuse themselves. And it's most likely self-inflicted. So when we look at numbers like that, Angela or Nicole, Helen, these numbers here, Jody, this is a little tough here to go over. There's a lot of emotional hurt in there as well. These feelings of the 5 are like, I'm going to claw myself out of this. And when we see it in balance, it's like, look, I'm ambitious. I want to get it done. I don't need to ask any questions, figure it out along the way. Every step is a move into experience. So we like these numbers for traveling. If you've got a 5 and you're like, oh my God, that's so me, like Sashi was saying that earlier. If this is you and you're like, dude, what do I do? Like I'm angry all the time. Drop what you're doing and go for a walk. Get a fidget clicker spinner thing or something you can use, like a spinning mobile or a water fountain. Keep the energy moving. Get up and get out and move and actually stretch and do stuff with your hands so that you can exchange the oxygen in your blood cells. You'll feel brand new. It's like an instant little high. Oxygen, it's a drug, trust me. So you can absolutely review and replenish what's happening inside of you. As if you've got a bunch of those 5s, like some of you guys are going to have it in your middle name. Some of you guys are going to be like, I don't see the 5 anywhere in my chart, but how come I feel it? Like Bruce may have it somewhere. It could be because it's in Monroe, or it's in Bruce, or it's in McClure. So it could be in a piece of you that shows up that says, hey, how come my number's not here and I feel it? It's unlikely that any one person is missing any one number. And if you are, it's even more likely that your love in your life, your family, your children, your friends, they're holding on to it for you, and that's why you're friends. So that's why we get this whole opposites attract. I think it's more like full sets complete each other. That's what it really is. It's not like, for me, I'm the dreamer and Sally's like the practical girl in the reality side. It doesn't mean we're opposites attract. It just means that she comes to me for dreams and I come to her for a heavy dose of reality. She keeps me grounded. She keeps me real, and I help her dream. So it's a nice composition, but it's not that I'm trying to say that we're opposites, because we're not. We're very much alike. So this 5, these are the women who don't want to change their names for marriage. They're the ones who seek freedom. They're like, if someone picks a fight with you, you're like, are you kidding me? Don't you know what's going to happen to you now? And the warrior steps forward and you want to just rip stuff apart. So we like this. They can get frustrated with themselves and others. But on a great note, super awesome to stand behind Jody. Like if anybody's going to get into a fight, I'd rather be behind her while it happens, because that 5 is ferocious. It also has a very strong, like, I'm going to get you. Don't attack my friend Bobby. You can't do that to him. And I'm like, yeah, you can't do that to me. And this is where she'll come in and she's going to really power up for me, because that 5 is like, nobody hurts my friends. And so you've got like Angela Marie Spotswoody here, like Anne Shaw. So Ange, you've got this like in massive loads. Like, you are not the woman to mess with. I promise you, when you get going, this is like, get out of the way. She's a woman on a mission, okay? So we like this 5. I absolutely do. I'm not going to fight with any one of you 5s, and I appreciate your patience with me, because I got a lot of 6s, which is, instead of the 5 being a warrior, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a lover, not a fighter. The 6 is the lover. It's the one who says balance. It's the one that says communication. The 6, and here's where we're going. Like, we're like, whoa, there's letters here. What the hell? This is crazy. Again, this is for me. Okay, so I've got a choice between which letters you guys may want to take. Let's see. Can I open this up and it's not weird? Can I open this up and it's not weird? I do not want to make it weird. Hold on. I'm so weird. Okay, so we're going to open it up like this so we can see the whole thing. And what we're looking at is, you see all these numbers up here? Like, they're numbers that work. They are the numbers that work. Okay, so you've got a choice of, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of them that I would consider usable. There are more, but they're not as fun. Okay, so about 17 of them. Then we take a quick peek, and I'll just quickly show you guys what we're dealing with. This is the actual number set as it is, okay? Oh no, Renee, the laptop isn't charging. Oh God. Yes, come back if you can. Go and try to blow on the cord a little bit and, put it back in there, or try to get in on a phone if you can. But please don't leave us. So these are all the ways that you could show up. Only a fraction of them are going to work, and I use only a portion of them as well. So just so we understand, there's a lot of ways to mess this up, and there's only a few ways to actually get it moving forth in power. But you'll notice most of the numbers I use, actually all of them, have either, hey Daniela, what's up, welcome, have either a 6 or an 8. Okay, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 8, 8, 8, 6 and 8. What's up? Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Or 6s, and then 8s and 6s again, or 8s. Like, they're all values of these numbers. Because we look at the 6, this is the most perfect thing that you could ever have. Like, your money makes you more money. Your time plus your heart, and your love energy and your money equals free time. This is work from home. Family vibration. I use this. I'm born in June, so I love this number. It's very loving, nurturing, caring. It's like I've got money in me, and I have money, and I have love in me. And it's not just one or the other. The 4 is good for working hard for money. I missed that. It's like the entry point into wealth. But time equals money here. Whereas the 6, we have lots of love, lots of dollars, and time and heart equals more money. So this is what Sarah did. She just took on Sarah G. Price. She took the G on, and it put an extra 6 in her chart. So now she's expanding into the queen, the mother, the leader. Before it was a bit more independent. Sarah Price worked, but when we put a G in it, it now suddenly entered her into a value of wealth. So the same kind of thing here, where we see like Sasha DG, bad example. I calculated it with the D inside. So there could be another letter that you take instead. If in case you want to talk about that, we can. But we'll absolutely get through it. We'll get through everyone for sure. But the 6 is one of your target zones. If you're like, but Bobby, I don't like kids. They're smelly and they poo on you. And I'm like, I know, right? And you're like, I don't want to have any. I'm like, that's fine. You don't need to have any. you don't need to take a 6. That's fine. There will be other numbers for you to take that have nothing to do with wanting to get married or wanting to have kids. You don't need to do that. And in case you're like relieved because of that, that's fine. In case you're like, no, my kids are everything, then you may be curious that this 6, losing it in a name, could also separate you from your family. So that is a very big idea. So in case some of you are like, yeah, I really want the big one. I really want the big one, like the big one, the big names like the Balaj and the Cam George names and the big names. And you have got kids and you're like, oh, how do I do this? Hey, maybe your wife or your husband or your spouse is holding down the family front while you go off and conquer the business world. That's a thing. That's a real thing. So in case you're looking to balance some of these out, it may be that we have to talk to your spouse as well if they're in on this. But I'll tell you something. If you get lined up and hubby doesn't, he's going to be like, what's with your business? Now you got a new name and everything. What is this? And that feeling can alienate you. So it would be a good idea to absolutely invest in making sure that the whole family gets lined up. Family numerology is amazing, guys. Business numerology is one thing. But for me, the real wealth is inside my heart, inside my home, where I'm doing my work and my little 2-year-old comes and knocks on the door. She comes and sits and just watches everything. I'm like, you're so cute. And like, that's my millions of billions of dollars sitting on my lap. So just so we understand where my priorities are, I absolutely want to help you guys where you want to go. So it works wonders, especially for people trying to get married, trying to conceive, trying to become parents, or trying to parent their children. Okay, so 6 is like a magical code. When it's in the negative, anyone see a 6 showing up with a nasty red around it? Marija Todorova shows up this way. And then anyone with a 6 in their birthday, like Lucy's got this, and like Melissa's going to see this, where my life path 6 is, okay? They love and they care, and we love, and I'm a born in June as well. We love and care and give so much that guess who gets neglected? We neglect ourselves. We don't want to be selfish. We want to, for the team, for the greater good, like for the collective. And so we'll neglect ourselves, our own self-care, our own needs. I was talking to a girl today. I feel bad and I'm good at the same time. It just sounds so weird saying this. I'm glad she's not here. I made her cry. And I mean, like, as horrible as I felt, it also felt like kind of good to think that she honored me enough in her life to have an emotional experience. I'm like, and I'm like, when was the last time you, like, because I was trying to drive this point home for her and she had a really nasty name on the inside. I'm like, when was the last time that you, like, drew yourself a bubble bath and you, like, said, screw you, everybody. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do self-care, goddess mode. Like, it never happens with this negative 6s. We're always so busy taking care of everyone else that we run ourselves ragged. And we run ourselves exhausted, and then we get angry, but when really we get angry, we just get sad, and we get depressed, and we get really upset, and we just do really miserable things to ourselves, like, I can't do this, nobody wants to listen to me, nobody wants to buy from me, like, and I do this to myself, like, trust me, like, the negative 6, every day, like, it's like your spouse, you gotta fall in love with them every day, you can't just fall in love with them once, and expect that's it, you gotta work on your relationship every day. And the same thing with yourself. You got to do that thing every single day. So if you got 6s in your chart, my heart goes out to you because you're probably feeling not only your share of pain, but you're also feeling everyone else's share of pain. I'm going to cry here at the play center. Sorry, Mel. Sorry, Melissa. You know what I'm talking about, though. So, like, look at Melissa here for a second. Like, she's got this 6 right in the middle of her chart. So she's going to be like, got to stay strong. And look at her. She's at a play center with her kids. So obviously we know that there's a value there of mother. I love, I care, I give, and sometimes more than I should. And it's going to be tough because these numbers are like, yeah, I see it. I used to deal with this too. This 819, like, I do everything for others. And you're super smart, but you just don't take credit for yourself. Like, oh my God. And yet you want to. Like, this is a challenge. So we're going to do this. After we get through the top of them, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on each one of you. And when I do that, it's going to be so, like, so many light bulbs are going to go off. It's going to be so much fun. But 6, my favorite number. This is like the center point of numerology. Like, look at these numbers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 6, and we have 7, 8, 9, 11, and 22. So 6 is literally in the middle of all of numerology. It is the most heart-centered thing that you could ever wear, and it really works out to be a powerful feeling. Sashi's saying, yeah, it's my favorite number. So where's yours? Sashi, I don't see it too easily right now, so it's probably hiding in another part of your chart. But Sashi Cross has it, so we like it. Let's talk about what happens here when we look at this 7. So you can see some of these numbers have like nothing underneath them, and like they just don't vibrate at either a love or a money level. 7 is one of them, and I wish I had like a, I don't know how to do this. I want to do like a cross, like spirituality, like 2 dimensions meet. Okay, so we have like the smaller point of this, and then we have like the larger point of spirituality, and then we have like the overload versions of it, like the massive levels of spirituality that show up in the big ends. So when we see spirit, we see 7s. Any life path 7s in the mix? Kelly, Nicole, name path 7s, Bruce, Melanie. Bruce has got it tough. Okay, Bruce, you got it tough with those double 7s in black. If you're seeing double 7s in black, that is not fun. Okay, that's not fun. Born in July, born on the 7 year, 1978. The 7 stands for intuitive. So when we see 7s, we see wisdom. We see a lot of like power inside of this. Like, you may not say very much, like Nicole may not say very much, but she knows what's going on. Like, she knows things without having to know them. There's a sense inside of Bruce's chart where he'll know quite a bit. And I actually like how communication affects you, but the reality is that it's challenging you when we're looking at this number. So this could be the story of my life here. Like, I know I'm good at saying stuff. I know what I have to do, but when it comes down to actually saying it, I just can't seem to get out of my own head. And this is what the 7 will do. It'll be like, it's all good, it's all good. I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to go out there in nature. I'm going to go out and get away from people. I'm going to be a good listener, but maybe not so great a verbal communicator. You'll probably be pretty good at planting thoughts in people's heads without them seeing. That 7 is very like spiritually aware, so we have a lot of value inside of that. I use a 7 in my name now. I was born with a 7 vibration as well, so I'm spiritually connected. My middle name shows up like Bruce's as well, like Francisco shows up with a 797. So I have connection to source, connection to the divine, quieted down enough to allow the spiritual message in. This is kind of like my deal. Okay, so walking temples, we see this. If you're showing up with a 7 inside of a red vibration, and it shows up with a 7 in there, Stephanie, Freedom Life with Liz, Lucy Lutza, Melanie Patricia Larkin, Rachel Deacon, it's a challenge to speak up for yourself. This is the procrastination. And like, I got to do this business, and then I got so much laundry to do, and I should organize my office, and I should reorganize my friends' Facebook friends list, and a bunch of other things start to take precedent over doing what you need to do in your business. If you guys want a nice, easy way out of this, if you've got 7s in your chart, you can ask questions. It'll be a lot more easier to ask questions than to sell something. The 7, like anyone who's got a 7, you're going to be like, preach, brother. When I tell you that people like to tell you stuff, they like to confide in you. They want you to listen to them, and you're sitting there listening to them, being like, that's intense. And like, you've got a lot of like awareness capability that people want to just spill everything on you. Be like, and then when I was 5, and then when I was 15, and then this is what happened. And then you'll hear things like, I never tell this to anyone. Oh my God, you're so easy to talk to, and I feel like I can trust you, and you are very trustworthy with all these 7s in your chart. Okay, so Rach is saying, oh my God, okay, I get it. So that feeling is inside of this, guys, that we have a large capacity to listen, and in business, get your list ready of questions. Okay, like like, why did you reach out to me? What made you feel like, this was for you? And talk with your leaders what's going to be the most powerful questions to ask. Why do you want to join my team? Why is this business for you? Why is now the time? Like these questions to get people speaking, it's going to be powerful for you. And then, well, what do you think we should do? What do you think the next best step is? Or the power of questions is going to be extremely paramount, especially because everybody wants you to go live and everybody wants you to go film a video. You're like, I can't do this business. I can't do this business. Let's just forget it all. Never mind. Because the 7 is not going to be connected to his outward voice. It's more like a listener. So if you put a really nice story ad out, or you record a video, or you could even record a video with you using flashcards. I've seen that. It was the funniest thing ever. This girl I was working with hated the camera. So she has this video of her and her farm in front of the chicken coop. And then there's this nice little sweet, emotional ambient music. And she just kind of puts her cards up one at a time. And then she puts them and then she puts it down. And then she grabs the other one. And then she sits there with the picture. And I'm like, genius. I couldn't do this. I tried doing this with a thing. And I'm like, this isn't working. I just try to read it out at the same time. And I'm like, oh, never mind, Bobby. Just go and say something. But this is a wonderful feeling for anyone who feels like their voice is challenged. And imagine me, I had this number in my chart. I got a new number that says 876 that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to have purposeful communication now. I'm actually going to speak my truth. So I feel like I'm catching up on lost time when I speak all day for a living. But the reality is that I got a lot to say, and it's going to be spiritually connected. So this is a wonderful feeling inside of the 7. You're cursed with massive levels of wisdom and not enough levels of communication if it's left unbalanced. So we're going to see a different Bruce after this. After this, I promise you, Bruce, you put a letter in your name, the floodgates will open, and there's going to be a powerful truth inside of what you speak. I promise you, it's going to be very, very powerful. Okay, so on to the next number, which is the 8. These are the advanced numbers. Okay, 7, 8, and 9. 8 is money. Money is money. Money is wealth. This is law of attraction. This is all about the magnetism of wealth. This is not about the mechanical version of wealth. When we see 4, we see the hammer is you're consistently hitting the hammer, making your wealth. When we see the 8, you're building a machine that will hammer for you, so that you just press the button and be like, ooh, that's a lot easier. I don't want to keep doing that. Is it still working? Okay, it's still going. This is good. Okay. So Ange is saying favorite number of all time. Absolutely. 8 is like an infinity symbol sideways. Okay, so we have what you give out to the universe comes back out for you. There's a never-ending cyclical vision of energy that says that it was even a funny picture. Infinity is like nothing with a twist, right? 0 is twisted with an 8. So it's a really cute little picture. It's like nothing with a twist. And so that we see this 8 law of attraction. These are smart people. Tina Franklin Wagner, okay? Ange M. Shaw, Living My Way. These numbers that show up with 8. Lucia Lutza, okay? Who else has a really strong 8 in here? Bobby F. Perryhart, come on down. Melissa Cheatham, okay? You got powerful levels of 8s. Sashi D. Cross. These levels of 8s, the ones in black are more intense, okay, Ange? But when we show up with an 8, or who's my life path 8? Renee. And Melissa Kate Taylor, name path 8. So we have power in these numbers. They speak wealth into other people. Balaj is a life path 8. His problem was that the road of his life said Autobahn, okay, no speed limit. And just I'm intense. Evil laugh. When you put a B in front of your laugh, it's like a bah. So it's like an evil laugh, okay? So you are intense. But the reality is that 8 is a solution artist. They will absolutely find, they're I don't care about the details. It doesn't matter. I don't want to do it myself. No, I don't care. As long as it's done, it's done. And I'm going to help this go forward by not spending any more time on. They're critical about their time because they're solution-based people. And Angie, if you ever get a chance to just talk to Balaji's intense, his problem was that his road said intense level of no limit, but his name said party boy. And I knew this guy since high school. I'm like, yeah, that's his problem. He was a party boy. And when he took the W in there, his name also went to 8, and his birth path was at 8. He's not come down since. And he's soaring now almost 10 years later into 7-figure months. Guys, who wants to make $12 million or more in a single year? Are you willing to put a dedicated decade of your life, to become a multimillionaire? Come on. Like I am. I'm absolutely am. And it's not as a motive to make the money. It's a motive to make the love and the impact that draws that level of wealth. I believe the love that I have to give you guys, the love that I have to give your universe, your business, your world, is the most wealthiest, profitable thing of all. And if you don't see what you're doing in your life as that, then you're missing something, okay? You have to recognize that you're taking up, the space that you're taking up on this planet is rightfully owed to you. It's rightfully owed to you. Doesn't matter the abuse, doesn't matter because when we look at 8s, if you got an 8, August babies get it the worst here. You're hard to manage as a kid, okay? It's like, let's just be real here. If you got a bunch of 8s in your chart and you're walking around being 7 years old, you're a boss. And your mom's like, no, you're not. And it's a challenge because this is too much energy for small people to wear. So if you've got this 8, my little girl's life path 8, born in August, she got double 8s right up front. And I'm like, oh, so hard to manage. She doesn't want to listen. She doesn't want to do anything she's told. You can't tell her, yeah, I got to negotiate everything with this little woman. I'm like, what do you want to be when you grow up? She's like, I want to buy the toy store. I'm like, that's my girl. That's what's up. Yes, yes, yes. And then my other son, my boy's like, I want to be a dinosaur. Ha, ha, ha. He's like 4. And me and this girl are like, children, they don't know what they're talking about. And like, yeah, you definitely should get into business because she's my little entrepreneur for sure. She's selling people every single day of her life. It's like crazy, okay? But this is the reality, is that 8s are bosses. They are in charge. And if not, they'll withdraw and they'll remove themselves, and they can get quickly lost in drinking, drugs, alcohol, food, addictions, whatever it is that shows up as a way of bringing themselves back down. The 5s do this, the 3s do this, the 8s do this. It's a mixed disaster recipe for like, hey, sure, why not? Just have some. It's no big deal. Next thing you know, you've got a problem. Or, I'm still hungry. Give me another slice of cheesecake. And then it's like 2 pies later. And so this reality is that I need to feel good because I'm not executing my wealth. I'm not fighting for myself. I'm not in love or enjoying myself. So I'm just going to quickly do something to make myself feel better. And when the 8 isn't acknowledged and you're not making money, and if you've got a bunch of 8s and you're not making money, it's depression. It's depression. Okay, so we really want to pay attention to this. And then we have some of these numbers, 854, 854, 584. It shows up a few times. Kelly has it. Tina has it. Stephanie has it. These values are tough because the 8 wants to make money on a magnetic level. The 5's like, oh, I'm all for it, speed demon, let's do this. But then the 4's like, hold your horses, let's check everything first. And it could be like, I'm stuck right at this wall, okay? And yes, this is a challenge that we go through when we see 4s and 8s coming together, because the 4s are like, slow down, and the 8's like, oh my God, don't slow down, get this off the ground right now, I need to go. So we have a value in like, I want to be a boss. So this is the mastery or the advanced levels of wealth, okay? Then we get to the number 9, advanced levels of love. This is global, humanitarian. Angela has this, Melissa has this, Rach has some of this in her chart as well. I think I mixed this up, so I'm going to quickly just change that to there. So we have values of humanitarian, I care, I give. The 9 is the opposite of the 1. At the 1, we had the ego, and at the 9, we have the universe. This is the completion. This is the number that says, look, I'm going to take care of everyone else before I take care of myself. So Rach is saying it's my favorite number. You got a 9, Rach, right in the middle of your chart. So we can definitely see that this woman will do anything for her friends, anything for the people around her, that you will run to their aid in their battle like nobody's business. But when we see 9s, You guys are feeling the pain of other people's BS. You're taking their energy. You're taking their drama. You're there for them, taking everything of them because you think it's the right thing to do. Very noble, very altruistic, but stop it. Don't do that. I mean, and it's, I like to say these things, but I know how hard it is to just stop being who you are and stop just changing it. It took me 3 years to get over myself. So in case you're like, uh-oh, like, it's just like emotionally draining and just saying, Rachel's like, holy crap, yes. If you need to change it, I would suggest you do. If you're showing up with an Ange here and Tina Franklin Wagner here, when we see them in mastery, this is like you need to talk to millionaires in order to really figure your life out. And if you don't talk millionaire language, it's going to be a disconnection where you're just going to be too smart for all the people around you, and it's going to be challenging. When you see an 8 and a negative, where it shows up here, 819, that was what I was dealing with, a 189 or an 819, I think that's about it, 819 here. It's a challenge that your business shows up, but then it gets given back to everyone else. You don't do anything for yourself. You do everything for others. So that 9 can be a challenge because here you are walking around like the universe is a big voodoo doll, and it's like you can't see an animal or a child getting hurt. You're going to feel like you have to save the day. And that 9 is emotionally draining. Let's take a quick example just so you guys see how infinite this number is. If I take the number 5 and I add 9 to it, it's 14. 9 plus 5 is 14. Surprise. 1 plus 4 is 5 again. We have the number 5 again. The 9 disappeared. How about 9 plus 8 is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8 again. So the 9 hides in every single number it's placed into. So this is why Rachel was like, oh, I'm an 11. She forgot to add the 9 because it kind of cancels itself out. So if she just added 3 plus 8, it would be 11. But since the 9 is actually there, you add it and it equals out to 20. It's a different vibe. So the reality is that 9 is going to be the one who gives and gives and gives and cares and gives to everyone else except for itself. So there's a challenge inside of this vibe that makes you super humanitarian, very altruistic. But instead of going to the bank, you're going to the charity. And instead of depositing all your money, you're just giving it all back to the world again. And this is what's going to happen. Mark my words, Melissa, Angela, you guys are going to be like, you don't take any of it with you. Well, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to give it all back. Same thing with Melanie. Mel, she's going to want to give it all back. I think Mel's supposed to be here for the group. Unless you're here, Mel, let me know. But yeah, there's a challenge in here to think that these people don't take care of themselves. And since it goes on forever, imagine the emotional range. When you get depressed, imagine the amount of days you lose. Imagine how horrible it feels. It feels horrible. Oh, my life is going to end. And it's like, just relax. It's just Game of Thrones. I know, but it's over. Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? And this feeling of the 9 feels everything inside of this that goes into a very negative, or goes into a really positive. So, yes, I've lost so many days due to depression. Me too. And I'm just like, screw it. I remember there was like a good solid few months where like I just like laid on my bed. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a care in the world. And I'm like, screw this. I'm just going to sit here and wait to die. And I was like, and I chuckled. I'm like, I'm probably going to have to wait a long time. And so this is how the 9 affects us. We just give up on life. And then we have, so these are like the palette. This is the palette of numbers, okay? Then we have mastery numbers. And mastery is a funny thing, okay? I'm looking at mastery and I see there's more than just 11 and 22. There is, 33, 44, you have 55, 66, 77, 88, and then we have 99, 999s. So there are numbers in here. What about this one? 111, 222. I'm just trying to see 333, right? Like this. Like triple numbers. Anybody see them on the clock? Anyone ever go into there and they're just like, oh my God, the clocks are speaking to me, and my odometer and all this stuff, and I'm seeing these messages. I like to think, personally speaking, from an 11 standpoint, if you see 11s or 22s in your chart, this is angel communication, spiritual communication, like the universe is trying to tell us something, and it's like me from a past life, or me meditating to myself from the future, or like maybe it's my passed on loved ones or family members speaking to me from the beyond. And it's like Morse code. They're trying to tap you on the shoulder by giving you a small little break from your consciousness in the the rigmarole of life, where we're just so attached to our problems. And then suddenly you look at the clock and it's like 11:11, and we're like, cool, hey, pretty sweet. Like, this is a spiritually divined message for me. And I really believe in those. So when I work with you one at a time, and we see them or we experience them, we absolutely take pleasure in understanding that we're not alone, and that there's a higher level to this, and there's more to this. If we get into the nitty gritty of this stuff, we see things like double fours, we see things like double sevens, we see double fives, double ones. So there are showing up inside of your names double sevens. We want to make sure that they're working for you and they're not messing you up. Double sixes, this one works really well. It's like my favorite name in the whole world. I gave this name to my son when he was born. He's super cute, 6 months old today, no big deal. Check out my Facebook. He's wearing a Spider-Man outfit. It's no big deal. It's just super cute. He's just such a doll. Anyway, but I gave him this number because I wanted to make sure he was going to be perfect. And so Jody Rowan, you're perfect. Sorry, no refunds. But reality is that you can take a new letter if you need to. We'll absolutely help you move into a forward direction, or you can powerhouse with this one if you want. But if anybody's seeing massive levels of numbers and you're like, I think this means something, and I don't know what it means, you could Google it, right? You could check out what angel numbers mean. It's all good. I mean, it's not like, it's a scary thing. In my world, funny we should mention, if anyone hears my alarm going off, this is what I'm talking about. 11:11. If anybody can see that, the spiritual street cred. I know it's not 11:11 where you guys are at, but for me, this is like the universe is like, ding, 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 Bobby. You definitely know what's going on. Okay, so I like that it shows up for me like religiously because I set my alarm. I set my alarm to hit it every single freaking day. And I mean, if anything, and you're like, I don't know how to meditate, at least let your alarm go off once an hour for 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, or, at least let it happen so that you can bring yourself back to awareness at least for 1 minute, at least. That's like something that we should really be focusing on. Give yourself a break once an hour, at least for a minute. Oh, take a deep breath. And sometimes it's going to hit you right at that moment when you're like super choked and you're like, get in the car. And the kid's like, ah! And you're like, no. And then your phone goes off and it's 2:22 and you're like, just relax. It's all good. Let's just dance around the car another 1,000 times before you get in the car. You're ready to go. I'm ready to go. And then we come back to presence. Okay, so it will help you. I promise you, set your alarm for it. And don't miss another one, because this is the universe trying to tell you it's going to be okay. You're going to make it. So this is the number set, guys. I know this is a lot of information. You've seen some of this. Some of this you're like, wow, this is me. Some of this was you, but you didn't see the number. Maybe, hopefully, some of you was like, yeah, I don't deal with that problem. If it was a problem and it's not a problem for you, consider yourself lucky. What we want to do, oh my God, I have tears rolling down my face. How do you know this stuff? Ange, I was taught this, and this is what it looks like when I teach it. This is what it looks like when I teach it. I go through it in depth, and we talk about what the definitions mean, what the cycles look like, how the numbers show up, how they all calculate, how to read them, how to write them, how to get through them. This is a course that I actually offer. So in case you guys are super keen on being like, I need to know this, this is the best math class you'll ever take. It's a 4-day field, and I go over this in massive amounts of depth. I know I can't do this in the justice of an hour, but I actually go through this in depth with people. For those who are interested, let me know. I got special prices for you guys all throughout the way of my life. So because you guys spent money with me once, you never pay full price again for anything, and it feels good since my prices keep going up, and I absolutely want to help you guys become multimillionaires in your own right. And again, money, wealth, millions, doesn't have to be dollars. So what we're going to do, I'm about to ring RAA, my car battery is flat, 13, 11, 11. That's hilarious. You used all of your juice to get online. It's like, if you don't have jumper cables, then you're probably like screwed. You could wave everybody down and just be like, hey, and like get anyone who's got jumper cables to come and help you. But let's get some juice back in there. Let's everybody send some juice for Renee so we can get her car back up. But this is where it starts to get fun. Okay, this is where it starts to get fun. Lucky I'm muted because I'm full on crying now. Aw, sending you love, Ange. It's all good. You can have a good old cry on this. It makes me flattered to think that we've opened the floodgates to your healing. Now you've been able to put like definitions. Like think about the work that's happening here. You're able to put definitions to the bullshit that you've had to experience in your life. Now we understand, oh my God, these numbers actually say things about me. Now we can map this out. And instead of walking through your life like your kids just threw their Legos all over the floor, you're now being able to clean things up and put things in the right place and organize stuff so that this thing works for you. And when we look at your name, this is actually really good. Like you may consider going further if you want to switch, but I would say that you're in the right space, and we're going to help you move through this. Okay, so I appreciate you so much for being here and allowing me to do this with you. Let's start getting into the nitty gritty. What's going to happen now is that we're going to go through this. This is listed in order of those, in order of who paid first. I wanted to honor the order of like first come, first serve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold space for each and every one of you. So in case you're like Stephanie or Marija or Jody or Steph or Renee and you're like, ah, crap, and you have to wait till we get to the bottom, I would be super honored if if any of you need your bathroom breaks, you need to sip some water, you need to do something. I'm gonna sip some of mine, sip some of my water. This would be actually I'm gonna have this one because it's better. So this would be the time to do it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold space. We're gonna hold space for each of us. Imagine that when I do this one-on-one, I'm holding all of the space for you. But now you've got everybody's hands here, and everybody only needs to put 2 fingers on this. So when Tina comes up and I explain this to her, we're going to learn from Tina. We're going to learn about what the numbers show up inside of her chart, and we're going to fix this for her immediately in front of everyone's eyes, and then it's going to feel like, oh my God, as soon as this is done. This is the part that takes some time because people got questions. So if you're going to ask me more than 3 questions, or like, hey, can you check this name? Hey, can you check this name? Or hey, how about this? Or why is my husband like this? Then let's save it for the end, or we'll save it for like the go around. I'll go through everyone first. And then if you can't decide, most likely, you've got such an awesome power of names and you're just like, I just don't know which one to pick. It could be that you need a couple days. It could be that we didn't find the name with a simple letter and we got to re-go at it somewhere else. And figure out another version of it. Like it could be like, imagine Tina Wagner takes a letter and you're like, but then you're like, oh, but Tina Franklin with a letter actually will work really well. So it could be a different version of your name. I wanted to prepare something so that I could give to you guys up front, so that you guys could think, at least we're working with something here. Hold space for each other, hold space for yourselves, and I appreciate you guys for allowing me to do this. This is the sacred part, because realistically anyone can read numerology, but it takes someone with real balls to change your life and actually give you something that you can use to change the story you've been telling yourself. And if you're, not a spring pig here, like let's see here, everyone is at least in 1980, okay? Like we have no 90s in there. I think the youngest we have in this group is Melanie. She's not even here, unless you are, in which case I'm sorry. But other than that, it's us at 84. Okay, so yes, we're gonna hold space for this. In case it takes you a couple of years to get over this, the bigger the name, the more work you have to do. The more shorter the name, the faster you'll get results. But also the shorter the results will be. I'm pretty sure I could fold a paper airplane in the next 15 seconds and fly it across the room, but it would probably take me a little bit longer to actually go and build an airplane and fly it into space. Okay, Richard Branson, check it out. So this feeling is going to be inside of this feeling to think that we've got choices to make, decisions to make. Are you going to step into your power? Are you done with your story? And it's going to claw at you. A name just isn't going to change us immediately, but it will be the most powerful thing that we can move, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Tina. I'm just going to read some of these just to make sure. So much bullshit in my life. I can appreciate you. I need to leave as soon as it's my son-in-law's birthday dinner tonight, which was arranged after I chose this session. Okay, so you're not too far out, Ange. If everybody's okay, what I'll do is maybe if anyone else has to really leave, I will do yours first. But what I'll do is, since I said I was going to start with Tina, I will, and then we'll move to you, Ange, and we'll get yours done so that you can enjoy fam time.
Bobby.
Hey, what's up?
Bobby, it's Tina.
Hey, Tina.
Go ahead and do Ange first if Ange has got to go, because I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, cool. So, Ange, if you want to unmute yourself, you can camera yourself up, or you can uncamera yourself. It's all good. But you just got given the green light. Or if you want to just chat, you can. All right. But what we're going to do is we're going to read your chart. So we're going to start here at the Life Path 9. Set this tone off right. Are you going to chat with me, or are you going to unmute?
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, how you feeling?
Thank you so much, Tina. It's really very nice of you. Thank you.
Okay, and I appreciate you for being here.
I really appreciate you. So I've almost stopped crying now.
Okay, you're dealing with a lot. Like, you fight yourself a lot.
Yeah.
You fight yourself a lot. And the problem here is that you've got a lot of love, so it almost like never ends. And then to make it worse, you pretend like everything's okay. Oh, yeah. God. I almost want to start crying. Now, the Life Path 9 is going to be very connected emotionally, energetically. The 7 is going to have a sense of quiet. But Angela Marie Spotswoody is going to have a very feisty woman in here that I would imagine is no longer there because Shaw took over. So it's like being in a fight without actually having your weapons there for you. And this can be a difficult feel. So I would imagine that you're experiencing some overload of information or energy, and this can be extremely painful. But what I will tell you is this: you're dealing with a full moon right now, okay? So you can let go of all this energy. You can also lean on the fact that there's a bunch of people just dogpiling, loving, hugging you inside of our spiritual campfire right now. Your name looks good. So the reason why I didn't come here to spill your stuff on the floor here, especially when you got a party to go to. What I wanted to give you was an ability to understand something. When I look at your birthday, I look at it in 3 sections. The first section is going to be 0 to 27 years old. And then the second section is going to be from 27 to 55. And then when you turn 55 one day, long in the future, you go into the 3rd number. So as a Life Path 9, everything's going to be more emotional and more connected for you. You're going to feel the pains of everyone else before you even decide to feel anything for yourself. And it can be tough to decide what's yours and what's not yours. Being born in July, we have a quiet version of you. Then being born on the 3rd, we have a sweetheart version of you. This is where your childhood is right now. So it can feel like you're putting on your best face to the world when really you're smiling through the pain, you're smiling through the tears, you're growing, you're showing, but you're actually going through a very difficult part of you on the inside. So this is where this challenge is. The nice thing about this is that you're growing into a vibration of massive wealth. There is a spot for you that wants to get extraordinarily wealthy. This 8 and this 9 will come for you when you're 55. In the meantime, your wealth is going to be directly correlated to your love and your passion, and it will pay off. So in case you're like, oh my God, am I going to be okay? You will be okay. You'll absolutely be okay. No, you don't wait till any of you wait until you're 55 to appreciate your 3rd number in your life. We have until then to get your business together. So looking at your name, I would curiously want to know, do you feel like we should change this? Do you want to make a shift that moves your energy around? And then when we talk about your business name, I'll ask you a question when we get there. But first, Anne Shaw, I like the name. How about you? Do you want to move it around?
What would you suggest to move it to?
If you were going to move it around, we would be looking at something like, let's say, I'm just going to try Angela Shaw for a minute, okay? So if I go Angela, what is it? Angela N. Sorry?
And see, I hate the name Angela because my mother used to call me that when I was naughty.
Okay, so we're not going to use that anymore. We're realistically not going to do that. But when I look at Ange by itself, there's a lot of love being given out to others and not getting back to the self. So this just made it worse to think that all of your love is expressed for other people, but then the self-love is almost like completely dry. So this is tough because I get what you're dealing with. So if you wanted to shut the emotion down a little bit, you could even take things like, what is this? G-H-I-J, hold on, K. So B, Ange B. Shaw, Ange K. Shaw, or Ange T. Shaw. You may be feeling like, do I have to? No, you really don't. This is a really good number. So in case you're feeling like, I'm not sure if I want to take another letter, we could talk about Ange Marie Shaw. Don't do that. How about just Ange Marie will work really well. Ange Marie will work really well. You could take something like that. That would work. But in case you're not wanting to move or mess this around or move this out, Ange Shaw is a naturally occurring vibration of value. The problem is that if you're feeling like I got to switch this up or something's got to give, it could just be that we need to validate this whole thing on a private session. That could be it, that you would need to go in further. I get the vibe that we're going to be working together just between us. But when I go to your business name, sorry, you're going to add?
No, all good. Carry on.
So when I look at your business name, this is gonna kick into power a lot heavier or a lot more strongly once you become a lot older, which is not happening for some time right now. So what I would look like is that if you want this business to fly, you need to get super sharp and super dedicated, absolutely crystal clear sharp about your sense of self, your self-worth, your limiting beliefs out the window, cannot have any time or chance for that there. Lack of self-worth, absolutely not going to fly. You need to talk to millionaires, multimillionaires. Those are the only people who are going to listen to a vibe like this. And this can be tough if you're like, yeah, but I'm like this close to emotion and I'm dealing with all this stuff and I need to have something that's going to help me out a little bit. I would be moving this back down. This is a little bit too heavy for a vibration of just getting started in business. This may be a little bit tough for you to run, to be like, oh, check out my content, check out my stuff. You need to already be there in order to use a number like this. So in case no one else is using this except for Tina, and you've been using this for a while, it's your name. But in case you're like, yeah, that's a bit too heavy right now, I'd like to bring some emotion or I'd like to bring back some fun, you could take another letter inside of here, or we could shorten this up. But when it comes to names, and I'll just say this once, Traveling Nomads, Living My Way, Empowered Mummy Mel, Go Forth and Prosper with Tina, it's not cool. On Facebook, people want to see your name. They don't want to, like Christy's not going out there advertising the Freedom Collective. She advertises Christy X Org, okay? So she advertises her name. She promotes her brand as her. And then once someone gets in, they're introduced to the collective. They're introduced to the vibe inside of it. Same thing with Sarah. She's not going out there being like Limitless X Prosperity. There's a feeling of thinking, look, I'm Sarah G. Price, I'm branding, and once you get to know me, you get into my business. So you could keep this if you're willing to take that challenge on. But I would imagine you came here to be like, well, I'd like to get my business moving. So but Living My Way, I need to have it. If that's the case, I would probably just use a different letter than M inside of Shaw, and then we're back to the way. But what are you feeling for your business name? Do you want to shorten it down to just a name, or do you want to add a letter and try to even it out that way?
I actually only had it as Ensure for most of the time. I've only actually changed it in the last couple of months or so. I was just kind of looking at something a little bit different, but I did have a lot of people that were contacting me under Ensure. I haven't had as many with the new name, but yeah, it's just, and I'm not really living my way. I'm just trying to make out to people that I am.
Yeah, see, that's out of congruency. So if that's the situation, I would be moving this, and I would also be moving this back out, and I would be putting it back to 786, unless you feel that there might be something else you want to use that we can look to get a bit more fun going. If you're looking for a little bit more of the enjoyability in business, we could talk about that. or if you
Okay.
this is a serious vibe. And so for you to enter some fun may not be a bad look, but in this case, you would be looking at putting either a couple of letters or a different version of your name. Let me just see what happens here. If I go, see, Anne Marie looks really good too. Or go, like if I were to do this the way that I need to, we're looking at, let's say, I don't know, like Ange on Marie. So like if you were, or let's do it, just as an example, if because I know that some of this is going to be hard to pull a name. You're like, I don't know if I can do that. But you go, like, let's say you go Ange Marie, and then you go on, right? Like I'm switched on. Then you have a vibe of like fun in the sun. Let's go make some money. Let's go enjoy this. Who cares? Let's not think so seriously. Let's not worry about so much of our emotions right now. Let's just go and enjoy being creative and ambitious in business. So you taking a serious name here and a fun name here may not be a bad look, but anybody who takes a green name will quickly find that you'll grow fast. And then after that, you're probably not going to want to take a smaller name anymore. You're probably going to want to go into the leadership ranks of names. All my clients do this to me, where if they start here, they don't end here. And so this could be a value for you in case you're looking to do something more fun, or you go Ann Shaw and you get in for the real ride. And this is where the real work, the inner work, the development starts to come in. Like we go a lot deeper inside of a session together. So in case that's something that's on our chart, or we could even go and keep going with the name, but I know you have a party to go to and I don't want to hold everyone else up. What are your thoughts?
So if I just went Ange Marie, what does that number look like without the on?
If you go Ange Marie, it's effectively switches these things out. So now suddenly you are a bit more vocal, you're a bit more boss mode, and you save your quiet, reserved part of you for where it belongs on the inside and also in your past. You're growing.
I don't really have a quiet, reserved side.
For what the quietest part of your life was was the smallest part of you, and even then it still wasn't very quiet. I get it, but this one puts your business communication up front. So I would say that this might not be a bad switch in case you're looking for something subtle. It's very similar to this, but it's a bit more in the direction you're going. Like you're going into the 8. You've already left the 7, so you may as well have something that has an 8 front facing. If you want to keep up with the the feeling of that, or we could go into something else if that's your choice.
I do love to have fun. Like fun's one of my middle names as well. I just love, I'm kind of known as a fun person.
Yep.
And the number that you had before, like 538, those are my actual 3 favorite numbers, because like the 5th is my husband's birthday, the 3rd's my birthday, and together they make my favorite number, which is 8.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So
I mean, it's not a bad look to show up in a business like this, Anne John Marie or Marie on, like this will make you money fast and help you laugh away the tears. Like we're literally using this to bring more joy, more fun, more youth, more pleasure and creativity into your chart. And then when you're ready to make the switch back again, and you're like, holy crap, I'm like 6A now. Like I got to get my stuff together. You drop on, and you don't go off, but you just take it out. Okay. Sounds good.
Yep, that's awesome.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, well, keep us in your thoughts while you enjoy your family. Happy birthday to your son-in-law. If you have any questions, please reach out to me for sure. And at the end of this, like the last 10 minutes, I'll start talking about cool discounts for you guys and gifts and things. Okay, so just stay tuned for what's happening. And thank you so much, Ange. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bobby, for that. I think you're just amazing, and thank you for your beautiful message the other day to me about my upcoming surgery, and I really appreciate everything you guys all do. Thank you, Tina, for letting me steal your spot, blowing you all kisses, and I look forward to watching the rest of this after dinner.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
All right, take care. Okay, Tina, you're up. Let's do this. Tina, if you want to unmute yourself and step on up. How you doing? When you're unmuted, let me know. And then that way, hey, how are you?
Yeah, good.
I'm just going to see if I can find you so I can see your face. And then that way I can get you. Where are you? Let's see here. Are you showing up somewhere weird on this thing? Oh, here you are. Hey, how are you? Okay.
Hi.
Hey. So, okay, now Tina's going to be a Life Path 4. So we've got a very strong, very powerful, this is like, I keep my back straight. This 4 is going to work really hard. And this can bug you a little bit by how hard you do work, and can also make you a bit more skeptical than you'd like to be sometimes. That 4 is like, don't try any of that shit with me. I know what I'm talking about. I've learned it. I figured it out. I'll do it the hard way if I need to. And it will naturally make things harder on yourself just as you go. There is a flare here, though. We look at your 4 in your chart, and we're like, hey, great, good, solid for foundation. On top of the 4, we see an August baby. We see someone who's going to be powerful in their level of wealth, and you want to be a boss mode very young. Entrepreneur is going to be there for you. And then we see a childhood number in you that we saw in Ange as well, the 3, where you're going to be pretending things are okay when they're not, showing your best face in the world. The show goes on. That thankless work, oh, it's okay, oh no, don't worry about me. I'm just going to deal with my feelings later by myself when I'm self-destructive. And that feeling shows up with the -3 in there, but it makes you for a great friend. It makes you for a pleasure to be around. Other people have great things to say about you. It's yourself that's not satisfied with you. The 4 is never satisfied with you. And everyone's like, Tina, what are you talking about? Come on, you're a great person. And then you're like, I just don't see it. I just don't know what everyone's talking about. And it's going to be disconnected from the self in that area. The 4 and the 8 are bugging you a little bit, and you're not there anymore. Now the 3 and the 4 are bugging you a little bit. You want to have fun. No, you got to get to work. No, but I want to have fun. You're going to feel guilty if you have fun. I know, but I really want to, I'm just going to go to work. And I'm tired of this. I just got to get the things done. And so we have a challenge inside of those numbers that also, it's great for dancing. It's great for learning a skill. It's great for learning something or taking joy and pleasure and stuff. You are also going to have a strong level of loyalty. This 2 and this 4 that show up in the 3rd part of your life one day will help us to understand that you want to help people. You absolutely want to, for lack of a better word, go forth and prosper. You want to help people go into their value with them. So you're going to be someone of power to help get them to the next place in their life. 4 says, let's study. 2 says, I'm here with you. I'm going to do this with you. Are you ready? Let's do this together. So I like your chart. It immediately looks good like this. And it also looks nice because it's getting smaller as you get older. You're getting younger as the years go by, which is like, hey, that's not a bad feeling. The only problem is that you're getting equally as exhausted as you grow. So when we look at your name, we see something very phenomenal happening here. Tina Marie Franklin, you were born like this, right?
Yes.
So this is the story of your life. You have big ideas, super passion, but then you're going to end up getting hired, and you're just going to work for someone else instead of doing this for yourself. Whereas I trust this number. We know that your vision is there. It'll be quickly limited by your self-limiting belief and the part of you that says, I can't do this, or this isn't for me, or the 4 just wants to squirrel with your mind a little bit. And the 8 is like, don't do that. We should make a lot of money. So there's 2 minds that we're really fighting with here. Then Tina Franklin Wagner. This one sets you all the way to the top of massive levels of ultimate business. Could take you a very long time to get this name moving. In case you like break, or you'd like to move back into your heart a little bit, not to say that you're not in your heart, but this is really supremely landed in its logic and its solution, that it could almost be your weakness to think I'm using my heart energy and my brain as well. Like I'm not in the level of feeling as much as I'd like to. This number is great if you're making lots and lots and lots of stinking money. But until you get there, it can almost feel like, is this thing on? Like, is anybody here? Like your audience doesn't want to listen to you because you're speaking at a number that's way too high. And unless you're like, no, Bobby, I've already made 6 figures in a month. I know what I'm doing. In which case, okay, great. But if you're like, no, I'm not there yet, I'd like to be there, you may want to take a number that helps you move forward a little bit. Your name, since it's already awesome, it's already a mastered name, the only thing you can do to Tina Franklin Wagner is put a G, P, or Y somewhere in there and then have that in there to like something like this. And I mean, it's tough because that's 3 words and a letter. So if you're wanting to, you could take one of these out and just use one of them. Or if you're comfortable taking a letter, then Tina G. Franklin Wagner sounds pretty hot, sounds pretty good. Or Tina P. Franklin Wagner doesn't sound bad either. You could use something like that. You could even do replace like that and go Tina Franklin Wagner. Some people want to do something weird like that, or even just like this Franklin Wagner or something weird like that. What are your thoughts? Would you be willing to drop Franklin for an initial, or would you like to add a letter to this?
I'd rather not make it too long. So I really not wanting to add a letter to the Franklin Wagner. I'd rather just drop the Franklin.
Okay, so if you were to go Tina Wagner, okay, and this is where we would go Tina B, Tina K, or Tina T Wagner. This vibe shows up as 786. The 786 is the all-star vibe of intuition, business, and family. So we have an even keel between all three spaces that will really help balance everything inside of this. It's a wonderful number. If in case you're like, well, what else you got? We could also take D, M, or V, and then you move that over to 718. And the 718 vibe shows up as independent, leader, not worried about other people's opinions, super intentional, and business-minded. So in case you kind of want to be a loner a little bit about things and kind of do this by yourself, Tina V, Tina D, or Tina M Wagner. Like that's actually something that's super authentic, seeing as that's your name. So you could use something like that, or did you feel a bigger buzz when we looked at the BK or T?
What I've written down before the call is in regards to my biggest want out of this session is I'm wanting to move past my blockages with connection to people, because I don't really think that I am connecting. So I'm definitely not wanting to do this on my own.
Okay.
I'm wanting people. I'm wanting. Yeah.
So
I'm wanting to be able to. I'm wanting to be able to express myself better, be more confident, and be able to connect with.
This, okay,
with
so this could be a 2-name switch. What you just said there, Tina B, Tina K, or Tina T Wagner. Okay. I just want to see if there's another one, and I'm just gonna go. How about like Tina Marie? And we're just gonna see here, Tina X Marie, Tina O Marie, or Tina F Marie will also do this. But the way I cut this, how about we're looking at Wagner. We're not gonna go back to Franklin.
I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
I can't drop the Wagner and go back to Franklin. No.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, in which case you're not gonna get an easy move at creating a fun in the sun, no worries vibe. Your communication has purpose. It has purpose to it. You're not just gonna talk to fill noise. Okay, like this T Wagner, even Tina D or Tina M, whatever shows up with those numbers that you have a choice of, unless you go into 2 or 3 letters, it says, I want to take this seriously. When I say something, I want to say something with power, purpose, and mission and value. So I would be recommending one of these letters. And Tina K sounds good. Tina T looks good. Does one of those letters poke out at you more than the other?
Well, M makes sense because, M for Marie.
But it doesn't, it's got less connection.
Yeah. So in terms of B for Bob, K for Kate, or T for Tina.
Yeah, I'm just going to also try Tina Marie Wagner.
Tina.
Yeah, see, Tina A. Marie Wagner or Tina Marie A. Wagner would work, or Tina J. Marie Wagner. See those, but still not as powerful as what you've got going on with Tina B, K, or T. But if you did want the M, we could do this. We could do Tina M. Wagner and then put in, what is this, W, G, M, G, M, P, or M, Y. So you could do like Tina M. Y. Wagner or Tina M. G. or Tina M. P. Wagner. Okay, so there are other versions of that with you can using the letter M that would help you if in case you're comfortable taking 2 letters instead of just 1.
Yeah, I think I'll have a think on the B, K, or T.
Okay, so let's put
and that put me into purple.
Yep, which is a mastery vibration. Even Tina Wagner on its own, it says solid, sturdy. This is like a slow and steady wins the race kind of gal, and we want to move you away from the slow and steady to like fast and steady, explosive. Okay.
Mm.
What are we thinking? Okay, so maybe I'll leave the B there. And then when we look at your business name, same thing. You could add the B, K, or T, and it would move you 2 spots up to the 786. Or if you want my personal opinion, you take the same name and you don't do the go forth and prosper vibration. But if that is a part of your vibe, and you're like, no, but I like it, then you would just add a B, a K, or a T to it, and you'd be good.
Yeah, I think I'll just switch it back to whatever name. If Facebook will let me switch, otherwise I'll just start from scratch.
I don't blame anyone for starting from scratch. If you have to do that, then hey, it's a bit of a pain, but it's a good time to set all your content, put it all into a folder, put a little tiny like repair kit, emergency kit on this folder, and then when your Facebook gets locked out or blocked or shut down and you have to start again for whatever reason, you got it all there. You can just post it all back up again. But hopefully they'll let you change it. Usually when you mess up your name that big, you're gonna have to do something like this. Go forth and prosper with Tina B. Wagner, and then do that as a change, and then do another change and take this out.
Yeah, I've already changed my business name once, so I've got one more chance.
Yeah, basically.
or start from scratch.
Yep. Yeah. And then don't try to merge pages, guys. It's super weird. It just messes everything up. Cool. Any other questions before we move on?
No, all good. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, excellent. All right, Lucy. If Lucy's here, I'm not sure if I saw Lucy now. If you're here,
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I can see you fine. I can hear you fine. Look at that beautiful smile. Appreciate you being here. Let's take a look at your life path first.
Thanks for your time.
You're very welcome. Actually, this is a pretty interesting looking chart. Life path 6, a bunch of love in here. There's a big kid in here as well. And you're like mama mode on like steroids here. Did you get married, have kids?
Yes. I've
Okay,
got 2 kids.
Good, absolutely. And you're going to be a very fierce mama. You take care of them before you ever consider yourself, for sure. But you came in hot. This is a good name. This is it? No middle name?
No middle name, no.
Okay, so this is a balanced vibration. So we got like a unicorn in front of us. Actually, who else did this? Tina, you did this as well. Okay, like your names are good naturally. We're just making them better. But same thing with Lucy. When it comes in Lutza, this value speaks for a woman who's powerful in business, strong with her intuition, and cares about her family. You're a name path 6 with a life path 6. You got a bunch of 6s in your chart. The biggest challenge is taking care of yourself. It's going to be you taking care of everyone else is how you take care of yourself. And like I did this too. And I'm like, my wife's like, you got to do your honor me routine and love me routine. I'm like, yeah, I listen to my audios while I get the kids ready for breakfast or whatever. And that's not the same thing. It's like you serving everyone, but not serving yourself can be very, very difficult. When we look at your name, however, Lucy Lutza Cause, this is actually a good vibe too. So I'm like, wait a second. Suddenly now you're destined to be in parenthood. You're destined to be in love. You're destined to have a long-term love. You're destined to have that passion and love. There's a powerful level of leadership in here. We have a feisty woman, an independent sense of sensation, like not the woman to fight with or argue with. And there's a balancer in you as well. But when you cut it down to Lucy Lutza, it got your tongue. You fight with your leads. They say they're going to do stuff and they don't. No one shows up. Is this thing on? Am I properly like advertising this? And it just throws everything off to the side. And we're like, damn it, this is not how it's supposed to go down. So in case you want to move this around, I would absolutely suggest you do it. This one you could keep, but in case you do want to get it into the higher levels, the best thing you can do for Lucy Lutza Cause, if you're going to keep all of them, is adding the letter B, K, or T somewhere. And then that way you could move up to more fun, more business. So you could do like Lucy B, Lutza Cause, or Lucy B Cause, something like that, K Cause or T Cause.
And if I was to drop a name?
You could drop a name. Which one would you drop?
Which wouldn't make it too long?
Which one would you drop? Like, would you just go Lucy Cause or Lucy?
Yeah, probably Lucy Cause.
Okay, so let's just take a peek. Let's take a quick peek here and let's see what we got. And let's go. And your one
Really,
letter.
whichever one's going to help me connect and work better for me.
Okay, what's on the list here? Like, what do you mean connect?
Like connect, like getting leads and things like that.
Okay, the thing is that like here's your options. Lucy Cause, right? I'm just gonna remove this so we have some clear working space. It goes into 977, so we're almost there. We're almost in a very powerful place for connection. If you were to connect with this at its most powerful level, we would be looking at you taking the letter H, Q, or Z. If you could go like Lucy Z Cause or Lucy like this, okay, there you go. So this one would be the most powerful for connection. And if you're feeling the love and the vibe in it, I say good, we found a winner. This one will connect you from a really powerful stage. Tina's saying Q, so you're going to be like, no, I'm going to take the Z. But either way, it's fine. This is your name. I would also be taking this fourth with you. Queen for Q. There you go. It's funny because this is actually a queen vibration, king and queen vibration. So it is very in line with how we would expect royalty to behave. Leaders, thought promoters, like they are influencers and they help people move forward. So we like that vibe very, very much. Okay. Yeah, super, super powerful in order to see that. Just going to make sure here that we have, is the Z the one or do you want to keep moving?
I can keep it. Yeah, I think I'll keep the Z.
Okay.
And Cos. Yep.
Cool. Okay. And then what about, and then inside of business, you're saying we're playing with leads here. To connect with them, we're looking like, imagine this. You were born as a life path 6. Your name was already looking at a 6. You got a life path 6. Your name is a 6. Connection happens at the heart. You're going to get to talk to people and help them move through stuff that has been challenging them and help the real growth take place. This isn't about business anymore. It's about helping families. You want real connection. For you, connection is about the heart and connecting into the soul. So this is going to be a wonderful feeling for you to do with that. This is so super cool. I love this vibe. When I see this number, I get like I'm tickled because I know that this is going to be a valuable vibration for you. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
I
Questions?
think I like it too. No, not at all.
Perfect.
I think
Okay.
I'm right.
If you do, by all means, come and jump in. All right. And
Sure.
and do we have time to go to Sashi and then Mel? I know Melissa's got to get to work, but I'll need to be free before 6. So Sashi, if you're okay, can we do yours now, or are we creeping up to 6 o'clock where you guys are? 5? Okay. I'm good. I can wait. Okay. So Sashi, you're up. Let's do this. Another life path 4. This is nice. You're the backbone of your family, clearly. Hey, look at this. You should be friends with Tina. 2832238. Very peculiar. Very peculiar. Tina B. Wagner, 764. Sashi Cross, 764. Very interesting. Very interesting. You guys are living a very similar looking life. You guys, it's like that movie Step Brothers where, Will Ferrell and that other guy's like, did we just become best friends? This is basically what you guys are dealing with right now. But this is cool because a lot of this stuff really applies to you. But in your case, it happens a little different. You're that light, that stability, that foundation. And then we also see you very loyal, like a good friend should be. Then you show up as a big kid, so there's a lot of beauty in your life. There's a lot of beautiful and that feeling of I just want to help people. And then you grow into your wealth eventually. So all the hard work is going to pay off one day, but we want to get you there now. Having a 4 name path as well as a life path, you're really hard on yourself. Like nothing is good enough for you. You're just going to like, no, I should have done better. Can I take a break? No, I'm not going to starve before I get and that feeling is going to be there. When we look at Sashi Donna Ram, this vibration is emergency healer. This is like you're going to run into the fire for someone and like save them even at the expense and the cost of yourself. So that's a challenge. That's not an easy thing to deal with. So we would want to move this around. Can I hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So questions. What do we got here? Let's figure this out. Sashi D Cross will work. So in case you do want to move this back up, you can. Sashi Cross will protect you. It's a great number for protection, but it's not so fast a number for business. And this is where you are personally. So it could be part of the reason why the limiting belief attacks the heck out of you, because this is like, I'm going to quietly figure this out, give it all on the table, and then double, triple guess everything that I think of. So it would be nice to, sorry?
Yeah, I actually haven't shared my my business on my personal page, so that might have something to do with that.
You don't want to. It's like, I'm going to get judged, and it's all good. And you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I
want to, though.
Well, then yes.
I want to, but I'm just holding myself back.
It's okay. It's okay. People do this all the time. You just don't want to do this. I talked about this before. So we're going to do Sashi Cross. I'm just going to check Donna for a second and see what we got. Okay, it doesn't work. So if you were to take Sashi Cross, it would be with the letter B, K, or T. Or if you like being a little bit more quiet, you like being a little bit more reserved, you don't really want to bring so much attention to yourself, you just want to sort of like fly under the radar a little bit. Sashi D Cross we're not doing that anymore. I get you. I'm just trying to play in. You know, because there's authenticity in here. You're like, dude, this is my name. I can use this. So if you can, what about Sashi Ram Cross? Is that a thing? No, it's not. So it could go Ram X Cross. That would work, but that would be kind of really, really neat looking. You'd look pretty superhero, badass. But if you were to go BK or T, this value actually helps you quite a bit. It helps you quite a bit because this is a strong vibe to help get you outside of that limiting belief, and it helps you move you back forward. Or if you like, because you're like, I don't like doing that anymore. I don't want to stand in the shadows anymore. So I would say, well, this one puts you a bit more into the front. So are you cool with Sashi K Cross, or did you like the B better or the T better?
No, I like the K.
Okay, so let's do that, and then questions. Do you have any questions at all?
I just want to have more confidence and self-belief. That's probably my biggest.
See, the problem with the thing with the 4 that you're dealing with is that if you haven't done it, you don't have the posture behind you. And it's going to be like, I don't know how to speak about this because I don't feel confident because I haven't done this yet. So you may, at the beginning of your story, your beginning of your journey, be more talking about the growing curve and the learning and the things that you're being taught and the stuff you're being shown. That's your value right now, is to share your value with people. And imagine you probably took some time watching this before you stepped in. The same thing with your leads. Give them the benefit of watching you grow through business and, being like, I'm glad I found this community. I'm glad I found this opportunity. I'm glad I found it. And make that decision to understand that this is what you are. Happy Pocket Full of Money will really help with this kind of stuff because the 4 is looking at linear information and we can't help it. Then we've got your name, Sasha Donna Ram. It's like Sashi Donna Ram. It's a number that says, I'm going to squish myself for everyone else. So your ego is going to get a really strong challenge here, which may not be very easy to find confidence in you. I'm glad you're no longer Sashi Donna Ram, but Sashi Donna Cross isn't any better either. It still leaves you feeling uncertain of yourself, non-communication of yourself. So there may be a legal name change for you guys, some of you guys in the future, in case you really want to take it to the next level. But this should even things out, if not immediately, at least eventually, depending on how much work you're going to need to go through. Sorry?
Is it the Donna part of the name, or is it?
If you put Donna inside of Sashi Cross, what about Sashi Donna? See, if you go Sashi A Donna or Sashi Donna A, then this will be really powerful, like supremely, like we're talking like queen level here. So Sashi Donna and then, or A Donna. Or this, it's tough, right? Because you're like, this is weird. Or you could just do like this, Donna with 2 A's on it. So we're ripping the name around a little bit, and for me, I'm kind of like, that's a bit much. But if you put Sasha Donna Cross, you will need another letter. So in case you're going to do something like that, I would be putting, again, the A, the J, or the S, or you could be putting the H, the Q, or the Z. So there are numbers to run into that in case you're comfortable having 3 words and 3 names and a letter. Yeah, me neither. So are you? So we're okay with Sashi K for now.
Yeah, I just want what's going to be the strongest for me. Give me
right now, this is looking like it's the strongest for you. Let me just double check again and just see if there's anything, because we could come up with anything, but really it's how weird is it going to look if you read it, and we don't want to do that to you. So in this case, we're looking at this value going from Sashi Cross. How about Sashi Ram Cross? Ram X would work, same thing. This is one of the more powerful names without going over top, and this is like right at the end without having to go like over the edge before you get there. Okay, so this is a good vibe.
All right, sounds good.
Sweet. Okay, how about Melissa? So now it's time for Melissa. And Melissa, if you're there, you can unmute yourself and just chime right in with us.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm here.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so we have our life path 1 here. This is a strong one. This looks like my sister. She's born in January as well, and she's a life path 1. Independence is the name of the game, but you also have a very loving heart around you, and there's a big kid waiting to have its childhood. Like, you're probably not there yet, but you're going to grow into a little old lady who's just a really big girl, like a little girl just being there in her wisdom. So I like this, that we start off with the sense of you finding out about who you are, and then the sense of you going off and starting to help other people and doing the good thing, the leadership thing. And then we look at you showing up with fun in the sun, enjoyment. I'm not going to get older. At the age of 55, you kind of turn around and say, no, I'm just going to get younger instead. So I like that this is showing up. However, your names are messing you up, like Melissa Gomez and Melissa Gomez on both. You were born Melissa Gomez?
Yes.
Okay, so the problem here is that your business, your leadership, your intuition, your sense of self, your sense of independence, it's being given away to everyone else but you. And I ran with this. This was my name before the F. So for you, you could take Melissa F. Gomez or Melissa X. Gomez and run a vibe like this would be moving you into a vibration of power. So, I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about that, or if you're feeling like we should, and there's no middle name, you said.
No, there isn't. No.
So you have this option to go halfway, or you have the option to go even further and go into the 898. And this vibration is like a massive power, but it will separate you from the mummy vibration. So if in case you're like, yeah, no, I'm actually an empowered mummy. I'm like, that's why I took the 876. That's why I actually took that vibe, Melissa F. Gomez or X Gomez, because I wanted the same thing, 876. I wanted empowered mummy. I wanted to be a good mom to my kids. And that means that you do the mom stuff for your kids. Like I always dreamed about doing the silly little things that moms do because of the way my mom treated me. So this is a powerful, empowered, intuitive, you care, but you're heart-centered. You're intelligent, but you're heart-centered. You're business-related, but you're centered in your heart. So we like this vibe, and I would definitely suggest this is where you sit with. Otherwise, you could take things like Melissa O. Gomez, and then this one would move you down to here, 516, which is going to be very fun, very fast, very independent, and then heart-centered, ready for the family. So depending on which way you want to go, I would say that because it's a bias, a personal bias, that I took the F, I took the X, and it allowed me power inside of parenthood and inside of business. But what are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anything to jeopardize, I guess, my motherhood. I mean, it's something that I've wanted to do forever, and I get to experience, and I'm lucky enough to, have 2 kids. So, I'm happy with, being centered and giving to them always. But I also want to take charge of my business and grow. So whatever that means, like, I don't know if there's a middle pit, like a middle.
That's the one, because the 8 for 876 shows up for business, and then it lands in family. So you're empowered and assertive, and you care about your wealth because you care about your family. You care about balancing them out. You're not going to be absent from them. Look at me. I build my business from my home office. Like, this is what I do. So I like how it showed up in my life. Based on a letter, are you comfortable with the F, or do you want to go full on Clint and take the X?
I like the X.
Okay.
And actually, it was funnier with the O because my dad, who's passed away, his name was Orlando. So that's quite significant. But if X is stronger than the O, then I'll definitely go with the X.
It is absolutely stronger than the O.
Yep.
Like the O is at the beginning of the frequency scale, whereas the X goes into mastery. So it's a much more powerful vibe. But this, I would absolutely do this for your business page, like immediately. Like I wouldn't run. If you're gonna take Empowered Mummy Mel, then what I would do is I would put a W in there, or I would put an N in there somewhere. Or
Well, my Facebook, my business Facebook page is just my name, and the empowered bit is the username, so it's not that strong on there. But on my Instagram, it's the empowered. So, but I do just run with my name, like on Facebook.
I would do this everywhere if you can, or if you want to discuss names for Facebook, or like Empowered Mummy Mel as an underscore as a username. It just throws it off last minute, like right after it's all set up, and then next thing you know, there's one that just doesn't quite fit right. So this would be a little bit more tough to run with. I would be putting something in there, even double W. I don't know, however you want to do it. But if you do want to change it, I would. This doesn't say business, and so this is like it says facebook.com/empowered mummy Mel. It's not going to have a vibe for wealth in it. It'll have the number for just having fun, which would be like throwing a wrench in this whole thing. So if you're okay to take the Melissa X Gomez and take it to business, I would be very, very grateful for that, because this is where the vibration will really serve you.
So would you say to take that the username off and put mine?
Yeah, I would put Melissa X Gomez, or you can even put Mummy Empowered, or Empowered Mummy Mel with an N in it. Empowered and Mummy Mel or something like that would work. Definitely would work, right? But then also using this as a username, Instagram handle, very, very powerful. But if you want, we can talk about that privately if you'd like to discuss name points on that, okay?
Yeah. And did you say N for Nelly or M for Melissa?
N for Nelly. N for Nelly, or W for wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
No, I mean, the main thing was, I guess, having those blockages. I do get the leads, and I do talk to a lot of people, but I can't really just get them over the line. Yep. So I know, I have that fire inside of me, and I feel it, and I know that, like, it sounds funny, but I know that I'm going to get there. Like, I know it's just going to explode in any minute, but you know, I've had that feeling for a little bit, and it's just not exploding. Does that make sense?
Of course, because your name was hiding underneath the 213, or even without the Gomez, it wasn't actually like moving itself out into the right direction. This is the ticket. You have already been doing the right thing. You already show up with leadership. You already show up with business. This just moves it into power that also includes your family. So it's like you're going to show up as an empowered mummy, and that's going to be a really powerful feeling, because what you were saying, Empowered Mummy Mel, was like a symbol of what this number is saying about you now.
Cool, yeah. I'll run with the X. When I first saw Clint and everyone else with the X, like the other girl, Melissa X Withers, and I just saw the X everywhere. I liked it from the start, so it's quite funny how it aligned with me as well.
There you go. So now it's yours. Now it aligns with you. I like it.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Okay, Bruce, if you're with us, come on in and let's see you unmute yourself. Or if you want to just listen on this, it's all good. Just going to find you here. There you are. I'm going to unmute you. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks, Bobby.
Hey, great to have you here, sir. I appreciate you being here with us. This guy's got a heart of gold, okay, guys? The Life Path 6. So we see that you're balanced. You're going to make a good father and a good partner, someone who will be patient with people for sure. And there's a nice, steady incline in your birthday that as a kid, you get to enjoy being a kid. You imagine you as a young gun, you're like having a lot of fun. And, you know, it's maybe not as serious as you'd like it to be, but your sense of humor survives. Your you're going to feel younger for a long time in your life, because that 3 wants to sit in its prince, whereas your life path sits in Cain. So we like this vibe. If any two numbers work really well together, these two do. And then the game quickly gets serious. There's an emotional side of you, and then there's a practical mind side of you. So we have the 6 and the 3 showing up with the heart version of Brucey. And then when you show up as 27, it's like, okay, all bets are off. Let's get to work. Let's figure this out. And you activate as an adult, as a symbol of balance. Sorry, you want to add?
No, I'm just listening. It's good.
Okay, good. So this 4 shows up in your life, makes you very hardworking and a surefire bet. The 4 and the 6, this is a safe bet for marriage, a safe bet for family. You'll settle a foundation. You'll also make sure the bills are paid. We got kids growing up here. There's a value inside of this number that we can trust. My wife has this. I'm going to have this. I have this. So I've got a 6 here and a 4 here. My wife is a life path 4. She's born in June. So I personally trust these numbers to say, hey, there's going to be, like, you're going to be proud of your kids here. You're going to work hard. But then sooner or later, let's go to the age of 55 here, you're going to gain your wisdom, where you now grow into your 8. And you go from the mechanical version of wealth, I work hard for it every day, to now the smart version of wealth, I'm going to get other people to work hard. I'm going to be a boss. I'm going to absolutely be an entrepreneur and have my wealth and magnetism. So we get a chance to see this is where you're at now. The 2 most powerful numbers of them all, the 8 and the 6. This is why I was like, shoot, this is a challenge for him. Because when we look at Bruce Monroe McClure, or just Bruce McClure, we see a number here that's challenging its communication. It's almost as if you got all these amazing ideas and they just never seem to surface, and it never seems to come out. And we're like, challenge, this is like very frustrating. So what we would want to do is we want to put something on top of this, and traveling nomads may work for the time being. And actually, it's not a bad name. But once you start making bigger levels of money, you're not gonna be as in love with traveling nomads anymore. You're gonna want to switch to something a little bit higher. So when we're looking at your name, what I would do is I would say that you could either take an H, Q, or Z. So you go like Bruce H. McClure, or Z. McClure, or Q. McClure, or you take the letter A and you go into a really powerful level of view. This A will take you one step higher, and then the H will take you one step into the right direction. So in case you're familiar with making a lot of money already, I would go with the A. If this is your premier experience into wealth, I would say find your voice first and go with the H. We could also play with Bruce Monroe if you wanted to, in case you're like, I really don't feel any of those letters. What are you thinking?
What would happen if we put in Min, Bruce Min McClure? Because Min's my wife's nickname.
Okay, so let's just try Bruce M-I-N.
M-I-N, yes.
Okay. Same problem. You would need something else. So you could do Mins, or you could do Min H, or Min Q, or Q Min, like this. But then people will think you're spelling human and then be like, "Ooh, I'm coming over for dinner." So if you put Min in there, you're still the same challenge. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what does that say about Min? Just gonna quickly double check. It's a nickname, right? She's a good friend. Yeah, she's a really good friend. She's got a lot going on, especially with that name for sure. But the value here is that it needs some help. Like, it's all 9, so it doesn't change the vibe anywhere. If you were to take Min inside, how about just Bruce Min? Let's just try Bruce Min, and let's see if there you go. This is not a bad look at all. You go Bruce Min, and this takes you to a vibe that equals a lot of the power of you. 8 for business, 4 for stability. You have 5 for passion. It wants to work hard, move fast, but it also wants to stay solid, steady, and patient, good to the ground. So in case this one shows up, you are not, and this is also Bruce, so that you're like, hey, that's me. I'm ambitious. I've got a large level of capacity for intelligence, but I'm not afraid to work hard and take the time to learn into this stuff. That's what Bruce says. So you put that together with Min, and you're black on the table. But as Bruce McClure, it's like, like the voice just can't come out. It's like, I can't say it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I just can't say anything. And so that could have been challenging you quite a bit. I'd like to think that your birthday offered a lot of communication, but when it comes to legals and financials, it's like, no, nothing to see here. There's nothing in here. But now when we look, putting that back together would be something around the area of Bruce Min, or Bruce H. McClure, Bruce Q, or Bruce Z. McClure.
Which is the most powerful one then?
The most powerful one would be Bruce A. McClure, and this one would it would be like, we're talking global vision. I want to make $1 million. I want to do this in like 2 years, but it could take you about 5 years to figure it out. So it would. The next question I'd have for you is, if you were to take the most powerful name, do you have prerequisites in business? Have you been able to build a wealth portfolio in your life already so far?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be going for years. Probably looking at maybe two or 3 years max, sort of thing.
I see what you're saying. In which case, I'd probably want to put you back into H or Q with that comment. It makes me feel like that is the most powerful one for you. Okay, let's do it that way. What about traveling nomads? Can we leave it this way, or are you planning on changing this one around as well too?
Well, I'm happy to change it or improve it if I can.
This one is a good thing for a grounding foundation to get things started, and it could take you up to 4A, 5A. But when you get to that 40, 50 sales around there, you're going to start to notice that I need something bigger now. And so if that becomes the case, you'll know that traveling nomads is time for change. But at least the problem with traveling nomads is that the vibration does not say traveling. It does not say nomads. It says, like, sit your ass down and get to work. And traveling nomads are like, hey, let's fly. Let's do so. Who cares? Figure it all out. No big deal. So it could be a bit distracting from what you're actually trying to tell people with that. I'm like, interesting. Traveling nomads does not say that when he's actually writing it in numerology. The two are passing boats. So I probably would change it. Something like Bruce Min, or if you want Bruce H. McClure to really like get this thing like solid. But it's totally up to you. Some people are not too keen on sharing their name on their business page. So if that's you, then hey, it's a challenge. But I would say that this is your most powerful form.
So you're saying maybe Bruce E might be the way to go. Bruce Min,
Bruce Min like this. Yeah. It's not a bad look. It'll absolutely help you empower people. I use this number for my website. So when I look at my website, bobbyperryhart.com, my Enagic website, I'm using this number because I want people to make a good decision. I want them to see the wealth, but I also don't want them to think this is like a fly-by-night. Like, I want them to know that there's something solid here. So if you introduce a business post by Bruce Min, and then underneath it, you introduce Bruce H. McClure, that's a wonderful 1-2 punch right here. Like, they'll get the foundation of you, and then the move up into the power of you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I've tended to keep my business name separate or different to my Facebook name, so they're definitely not the same. Yeah,
that's fine. A lot of people are like that. So in which case, Bruce Min was okay for business, and Bruce H. McClure is good. Or you can even reverse them. Either way, they're both good numbers for personal or business, okay? Perfect. Thank you so much.
Great, okay. That's great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, my friend. How about Mel? I think Mel told me she was going to be here for the June. Or are you with us, Melissa? I'm not sure if that's you, Melissa, because I know there's two. Or no, that was Melanie. So sorry. No, it won't be. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to, I promised Mel I would do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly talk about Mel here being a very sweetheart and very loving vibration. She's got a strong sense of leadership, but then there's going through some difficulty, and it also gets a little bit more dramatic as things get older. But right now, we're in a large state of connection, partnership, and connection to others. Mel Morgan, since I'm going to choose for you, is going to be a really solid place for you to do your business as opposed to Mel A. Larkin. Okay, when we see Mel Morgan, we see fun, enjoyability, and like I just want to have fun. I don't want to think too hard about this, which is nice because that's your life path. And on the challenge is Melanie Patricia Larkin, where you were born, it was crushing your voice. So what I would suggest is that we connect privately when we can so that we can go into this a little bit deeper. And then what we'll do is we'll talk to Kelly. So sorry, Mel, I appreciate you. I do, and we'll probably get you on the next group. But what about Kellyanne? Are you with us, Kelly? Just let me know that you're here. Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate that. This is absolutely going to change the game. Kellyanne, if you're with us, unmute and just let me know. Okay, maybe if you're not or you had to step out, I'm just going to quickly search for you. Looks like I'm not seeing you. And luckily for Kellyanne, these numbers are actually pretty good. Okay, so in case you want to switch them up, you can look perfect. Like Life Path 7, the one without the voice, she's gonna like basically be here and be like, I can't say anything. So if you've missed it, I apologize. We'll get you in the next one. But the value here shows up as you having the same thing Bruce was dealing with: business, passion, stability, structure, balance. And your name says very practical, whereas your life path says very mystical. So you're probably a woman of two minds. I would say that we quell that by putting a B, K, or a T in the middle of this, so that you can actually like move forth in magnetic energy, as opposed to being stuck in the critical energy of the self, the tactical, practical energy of the self. What I would suggest is you move up. Probably not to the DM or V. Would be going a little bit high right now. B, K, or T would be the one you'd want to settle on. But keeping it the way it is right now makes me feel okay, because this is not a bad look. How about Nicole? Nicole, are you with us? Do you want to unmute? I can see you there. Okay, I'll help you unmute. Hey, there you go. Hey,
Hi.
what's up? What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It's funny, we talked about Kelly a second ago being a woman of two minds. You're absolutely a woman of two minds. There's going to be two pieces of you here. The 7 shows up as quiet, but don't let her fool you. Do not let that quietness, do not mistaken it for like being naive or anything. That 5 in your passion, the 1 in your purpose, there's a leader inside of your birthday, and this is a strong like hidden weapon. You may not want to unconceal it very often, because that 7 is like, trust me, you don't want to see me angry. You don't want to get me wild up. I'm going to stay nice and calm and just sort of like quietly judge you. But the 5s and the 1s in you are passionate for leadership. So we absolutely love this chart. It could just be frustrating for you that you may be a bit more on the self-attack. When we look at Nicole Helen Gantos, we see a 5 in there. So we see a 5 in your chart as well. You may not be showing people how hard you are on yourself. That's just the reality of it. And you also probably work really hard as well. But we look at Nicole L. Shake, and this is a vibration that is not serving your value the way we want it to. It is not helping us out the way we want it to. We want to get to something that's moving you higher. And in this case, it goes really high. Like it's got a powerful level of business, but then it crashes down into the 2, which just ends up being sacrificing to others. So there's a challenge in this name that I'm looking at being like, wait a second. Okay. So there are many options. You either go fun or you go big. So if you go fun, Nicole X or Nicole F, this vibration in the middle of your name shows up as, look, let's just have fun. Let's make it fun and fast. I just want to enjoy the 3, and I want to have an ambition, the 5, and I want to make money, and I don't want to think too hard about it. Or if you go higher and you're like, you know what, give me the O. Let's go up to the very, very top and let's change the world. Nicole O. L. Shake, okay? So that vibration would take you straight up to the top. Now you've got Balage's number on your chart, and this is that fiery look in your eye. Like, I know there's a party that's like, let's just take it. And then, like, should we do it? Should we do it? And that feeling of the 1 can see your level of leadership go that far. I don't tell people how to live their lives. I just show you which door you can grow down. If you're like, this is a big gap. Like, for me, there's a big gap. Like, there is none of these letters work with Nicole L. Shake to think, is there something in between that I can use? Like something that's going to be like somewhere in the middle that's actually going to be powerful, but not too powerful and not too fun, like somewhere in the middle. I would suggest that we're looking at something like Nicole Helen with your last name, or we have to put 2 letters in there. So if I do this, what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to take a look. Unless you're like, no way, I love it. I love the O, or I love the F, I love the X. What are your thoughts around this?
I like the O, but is that like setting my sights too high for now?
I don't want to scare you on that. I know a lot of people get scared on it too. I would think that for someone with these numbers, it's not, because you can see the future and you're like, yeah, that's the kind of like the success. I want to change the world, and I know that I can. And this one's like, nobody better tell me that I can't. So I know that you wouldn't be setting yourself too high, because these numbers are really powerful. But you may want something in the middle until you get there. But let for example, let me just give you an example of what that would look like. Like it would go something like this. Like if you wanted something in the middle, you'd be looking at Nicole Helen with an E on it, L shape. Okay, so if this is how you showed up, you would now show up as queen version of you. So for me, I'm like, oh, that's not bad. It's definitely not bad. We're right dead smack in the middle of fun, purpose, passion, global service, long-term wealth. It works really good. If you're okay to take something like that, I would say it's pretty authentic. You're probably one letter short of this. Like, is this your actual legal name? Nicole Helen L. Shake?
No, see, I'm not even sure if it's on my birth certificate because that's a name I was given as well when we're christened.
Okay. So there could be.
I don't like it.
Okay, well, let's get it out of there. We're not going to do that again. So you mean to tell me that you may actually just be Nicole Gantos as born?
Yes.
Okay. So I kind of take it back about working really hard. You may just kind of disconnect from people a little bit, and then maybe feeling like I want to be there, but I just kind of want to be independent. If in case Helen isn't actually there, and seeing as you don't like it, I don't like it either. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get it out, and we're not going to keep it there. But they're having said this, seeing as that 3 is there at the beginning, and the 5 is there, you may actually enjoy the F or the X right now, and then take on the O when you're ready. Like that's like a 1-2 punch. If you're like, yeah, no, it's going to leave me feeling a bit short, then I'd say bite the bullet now. Guys, you're not changing your legal names here. So in case you take a name and you're like, this was too much, I can't handle this, give it 6 weeks. Facebook says you can't change it for 40 days. So you may as well take it for a month and a half and see what happens. And if it starts giving you vibes and you're like, I love this, I've never been so powerful. Like Shar did this. Remember what she was saying? She's like, I took the U and suddenly I'm like, I'm congruent now with my business. And I'm like, okay, cool. So if that's the way that you want to go, you let me know if it feels better. Also, you guys could sign your name. Sign your name with your new initial. Does the new initial actually work for you to feel powerful? Or does it make you feel like, I can't write this, it makes me confused? Any new thoughts, Nicole?
I like the O.
You sound like you do.
Yeah.
You sound like you do.
I'm sold.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
You got young kids?
3.
How old are they?
2, 6, and nearly 8.
Oh man, where's hubby?
At a birthday party for 2 of them, but the little one's just tagging along.
Okay, so does he? So with a name like this, when you take something this powerful, it will require the love and caring commitment of what husband's got to take care of. I'll just quickly cite insight for you guys. In my relationship, I hold a lot of the emotional numbers, a lot of the feminine numbers. My Sally holds a lot of the masculine numbers. So we're in 2019 here, guys. Like, it doesn't make you any more or less of a woman to take a very powerful name. But if you're the one doing this business and you're feeling it, just make sure we understand that your husband's got date nights planned and that he's taking care of the kids. He's helping you in the emotional state, because you may feel like you're floating away a little bit more than not. Okay, so it's not a bad look, but just so we know that that's in there. Okay.
No,
very
good.
Powerful, very, very powerful. Absolutely nuts. So this is like just throwing down the gauntlet. Everyone's like, whoa, okay, Ray, she's going to take a master name now. Let's just figure this out.
So excited.
Yeah, me too. Like, and with as much love as I can possibly say, make sure you have your shit together for this name. Otherwise, you're going to feel itchy. And if you don't want to build your business, you're going to feel massive levels of depression. This thing is expecting you to play at an Olympic level, okay? This isn't like backyard hoops. This is like I'm playing for the country. So you absolutely want to make sure that you approach your business this way. Do not be afraid to talk about money, wealth, business. This thing is going to slam your voice right up to the front. In case you're
I was just telling my husband, I want a house in the Hamptons.
Good. Exactly. See? You're calling it in. You'd be like, that's my house. I'm going to have it. So we know that it's coming, okay? Okay, Melissa. Freedom Life with Liz. We gotta fix that. That's a challenging.
Everything else looks all right. except for that.
Everything else looks really good, actually. Like, really good. I'm like, hey, wait a second. Melissa K. Taylor, independent, loving level of intuition. Like, you're smart. You know what's up. You don't need to be bothered. You're going to be successful. Then we have your life path. Hey, wait a second. We have a princess vibration, an angel vibration, and then we have a master engineer, and you care a lot about everybody. So this is a very old soul with what we're experiencing, guys. Like, this woman is, we're probably going to see something naturally powerful coming from you. How's business? How's life? How's things going?
Slow. Yeah, business-wise is slow, but everything else is pretty good.
Funny, we should mention Freedom Life with Liz is like, I'm not going to say
Yeah, I
anything,
was like,
I'm not
oh,
gonna
there
say
you go.
anything, and then I'm going to fight. So it's got no communication, lack of communication, and then I speak too late or I say the wrong thing. And we're one letter away, or we're changing it around. If you wanted to keep it one letter away, I would be doing something like Liz with an extra S, or Freedom Life with Liz S, or Liz J, or Liz A, or you can go Alice, or a Freedom Life. You can go like that. A Freedom Life with Liz would work like supremely powerful. You're one letter short. If in case you want to brand around this, I don't want to make you guys feel like just because you have a weird looking sentence as a business name that it's not going to work. I would just save that for your group name. Don't use this as a business page name that you're going to advertise to. This is like, it knows it's going to be successful. Like, I know it's coming. Just why the heck isn't it coming? It's like frustrating because that 5 in there is like, I got to do something now. So it's not in line with the rest of your power. And it's, you're being held back a little bit. So what do you think? Are you going to put a letter A in there and keep moving? Or are you going to change it around and take a name instead?
Well, I might just, go back to my name.
I would.
Because
really
that's looking pretty good.
See, from here, you've got this. This is you. You've been this for a while, especially even as a Melissa K. Taylor. You've been in power already. For you to take Melissa B, Melissa K. Oh my God, this is. There's something here, guys. This is like another unicorn right now. See, like you taking Melissa K. Cheatham is gonna naturally boost you to global visionary. So you may have a space that's like, don't play small, don't play small, don't play small. And you're like, I shouldn't play small. This is the next upgrade for you. I can feel it in your tone. I can feel it in the way that your posture, like it feels like you're leaned back on, you're just like a boss. And we have the sensation that you're smarter cookie than all of this. This is like a higher consciousness level of vibration. You're hiding underneath December. That's a long time ago now. But I would say that you're either Melissa Cheatham, or like in the real world, okay? And then on business, you flex a Melissa K. Or if you want, you can take them both or all of them or none of them or any of them. What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't use my Facebook for business at all. I just use my business page. So I'd probably just put the K in the business page and maybe just leave, because I just have my Facebook as family and stuff like that. And then I do all of the stuff from my business page.
Smart woman. So this one, you'll definitely leak your business-minded energy and your power feel to your friends and family one day. Like, they're going to know that you're a woman of power. But when you show up for business, you are not kidding. Okay? Like, straight up. This is a wonder. And to think, this is your name. This is not like a version of you that just shows up with a weird letter like all of the rest of us. You know, you get a chance to actually step into your true destiny. So again, like same thing with Nicole, this is a business level conversation you're having with entrepreneurs. I would say this is advice for all of you. Start advertising to people who already know what business is and that you're not the first person to show up with affiliate marketing. You're the first person to show up with a solution. This is that person to say, hey, look, you know, I got a team already and I'm not happy with my current product or my current system. And you could win on a lot of big teams all at once. by having these bigger numbers, 786, 966, like all of this stuff works to be that way. But looks good. Any questions at all, Melissa?
No, that was probably one, was just like, yeah, my target. But you just answered that, so
yeah.
good.
And with Melissa K. Cheatham, your target should be in the more serious. Don't start fiddling around with smaller target markets. You want to go in for juggernauts, champion CEOs, corporate, people who have done big things already and they want to do bigger things. This is not a bad look for you. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Sweet. Very sweet. Pleasure to connect with you. I'd love to read your chart. How about Rach? Rachel, you with us? What's up, Rach? How's it going? My life path too, brother, sister. I'm your life path too, brother. But are you with us? Are you okay here? Where are you? You're here, but you're muted. Can I unmute you?
She's got no microphone, it says.
Right. Okay, no microphone. Yes, you're here. Okay, cool. I can see you on the chat. So, life path 2, super caring, very loving, very giving. You will give up everything for the other. And this shows up in Rachel Deacon as well. But in Rachel Deacon, you're working really hard and you're not speaking up for yourself. It's that feeling of thinking, look, I'm just going to be super loyal to the whole pack and the whole thing and everything in there. And it's challenging us. We look again and you're like, well, I'm no longer Deacon. I'm now Boatwright. You work really freaking hard, like really hard. This is like, I don't know when to quit. I don't know when to stop. Like for me, I'm like, ouch, like, have a seat. You're like, I can't. It's like this feeling of never ending motion wants to take over instead of Rachel Boatwright. So I would suggest that we put a letter in there. We could talk about putting another word like Rachel Deacon Boatwright if that's something of value to you, because the numbers that you have only go up to a certain area. The name of the deal with your life path, however, these 8 and this 9 is like you're a powerful energy. And I saw this from your first interaction. I felt it already that you had something bigger going on. So you did legally change it to Rachel Deacon Boatwright. So I'm just going to quickly take a peekaboo. We're going to go Rachel, and then we're going to go Deacon. Actually, let's go Boatwright, and then we're going to go Deacon as well. Oh, thank God. That's the number you need to use, okay? So if you can do this for me and you can, identify with this everywhere you go, you are a naturally aligned God vibration. This is what is going to help you. This is it feels like I just let out something and it's like, that feeling of blessing. Because when people already changed my legal name, I'm like, that's my face today when I was getting my colonics done. She's like, all right, I'm going in. I'm like, please don't make this hurt. I'm afraid of what number this could show up in. When I look at 628, we look at God vibe. Okay, this is a vibration of parent. This is a vibration of partner. This is a vibration of wizard. So you're very loving. You're very loving and almost overtly loving. You care so freaking much. You do. Okay, we know you do. We know that you've got a lot on you, but you're also really smart. So you're the name you were holding before, it had no wealth in it. This is how you have to show up. You have no choice. No choice. You cannot take a letter, not with a name this solid. This is literally looks like the word God. Okay, good, done. When we look at the word God, the letter G or the letter O is a 6th letter. The letter D and the letter G add up to 2, and then 6 plus 2 equals 8. So there's a very strong higher level consciousness that's happening inside of this name that we really, really appreciate. And welcome back. Welcome back. This is what we needed to have. I'm super blessed that this is the way it is, because this is what makes me feel like we're doing the real work here. You're very, very welcome. I would feel from 549, from where you were a minute ago to where you were born to what this looks like now, it's like a breath of fresh air after feeling like it was suffocated. This has got to feel really good. Okay, absolutely. Do you have any questions about this? I know that this was kind of quick. What else can I tell you about this? suffocated, people pleasing to no end, sacrifice of the self. You're a great friend, but you're growing into more and more wealth as you continue your life. Okay, you need to speak up. Now you will. Now you will. This is business, purpose, communication, love, connection, mentor. You're going to speak up to the people you work with and the people who work underneath you. This is a leader's vibe. Okay, so this is a really good looking number now. And thank God, this is your legal name. Like, oh my God, like this shows up on bank accounts and passports and it's good. I'm glad. Okay, so Rachel Deacon Boatwright. And sure, great. Deacon is like a middle name. It's your maiden name. Who cares? Whatever. The fact that you hold it now, it puts you right back in the middle point, and it's not like we're too far down. Now you have purpose, long-term passion, long-term wealth, okay? And if any of these guys you find after a while, hey, it was the wrong name, it's okay. Sometimes there's a really deep story that needs to get through in order for us to get there, okay? So if that's the case, you let me know. If any of you feel like, I don't know, I felt like my name was rushed, it's because I don't want this to go over 4 hours. And, you know, it's 1 in the morning for me, and everyone here is super patient. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. We're sharing a lot of information here, I know, but I want to respect everybody's time. So if you did feel like, hey, I think I ran through this too fast, it's probably because there's a bigger number. But me looking at your team right now, guys, like 876, 786, 966, like, this isn't a joke. You guys are taking very powerful vibrations. I would say that you guys create a mastermind between yourselves, and that, like, you know, within the pod, a pod within a pod, and that you guys can like you guys will know what you're talking, like keep this chat alive kind of thing for you, so you guys sort of figure it all out. Okay, I need you to help. I need you to help my kids. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. It's a wonderful feeling to do this for children. Like, yikes, it's so cool. I got a chance to name little Ronan. Is that his name, little one? Yeah, Sarah's little boy, Archer, or I can't remember his name now. But I helped him name their name, little boy. I helped Matthew Jang name his little kid. Who else? Tanita's little girl. My little boy, of course. So many little people. Ollie, Kate and Andrew's little baby. But naming kids is the most powerful thing, okay? Due in November. Come on down. Let's make sure. I got a gift for your baby on birthday, but it would be absolutely, I critically, please, Melissa, you have a chance to set your son or your daughter's destiny outright. Please don't take this for granted. This is everything, to think that this person is a name that isn't going to mess them up. My kids are stuck, need inspiration. Absolutely. Rach, how old are your kids? They seem like they're just old enough to be stuck in their own head. But yeah, we'll absolutely would love to. 15 and 24, bring them on in. Would love to talk to them. Give me half an hour on each of them. Absolutely. I'll definitely hook you up, okay? So we're looking at Jody. Jody, do you have your microphone with you, or do you want to, or unless, Rach, do you have any more questions?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jody. It's a pleasure to connect with you. I love this. I'm done, thanks. Okay, cool, Rach. I appreciate you. Jody, so let's take a look at this. You were dealing with a little bit of the same as Rachel Boatwright a second ago. This works too hard and won't stop. And then we look at your life path.
I can feel it.
Yeah, your life path again. A woman in motion. Like, I can hear the smile in your voice. I can hear the punch in your voice. And you're like, I'm here. Like, that feeling of like, boom. And like, I know that 5 is going to be feisty in there. But that saying, I'm a lover, not a fighter. You're a lover and a fighter, okay? So we know that you've got passion inside of you. Not so much inside of you. It's like there. But more so, we have connection. We've got love. We've got spiritual aid. This is very close to my birthday as well, as a Cancer. Very feely, like emotional here for sure. And so what are we looking at here? Your name looks powerful. Jody Rowan. This is, you're legally Jody Rowan, or you're legally Jody Selena Rowan?
I'm legally Jody Selena Rowan.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly just take a look, because I wanna see how far you are from power instead of. Okay, Jody Selena Rowan is like a queen trapped at her princess prom outfit, which is like a nightmare to think, oh my God, this doesn't fit. And then Jody Rowan your name legally. So there's a challenge there that you're giving more of your love out to others than to yourself. But Jody Rowan ties it back together and gives you a very, very strong, powerful vibe that the only place that you go from here is with a BK or a T to go into the top up level. So if you're feeling like, you know what, I need that next level switch, I know the 5 in you is like, bring it. But the other part of you is to think, hey, I'm actually good where I'm at. You could also take Jody Selena Rowan, but then you'd have to put something weird in it like that.
Yeah, no.
But look at this one, Jody K. Rowan, like Kentish, right? So there's a value of authenticity in there that upgrades you to the next level for you. And I mean, I'm not surprised, guys. Like you got, like everybody knows avatars, you know, your target market, who you're supposed to advertise to. You guys are a reflection of these people. Does anybody recognize some of these people here? Just curious. If you're like, hey, I know this person. Hey, this is what your team looked like before it was you, and it was just the beginning of this. When this was all of you guys at the very, very beginning, they got power level numbers, and then suddenly you guys start coming into the mix. So when they're bringing people like Jody Rowans to the table, we're like, okay, there's a level of power in you. You still may be running to your next vibe as well. You may still be looking at jumping to your next position, or do you like where you're at right now with Jody Rowan? What are some of your thoughts here?
No, I don't like where I'm at because I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere and I feel stifled.
Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Let's see here, because I wouldn't want to kick you off a cliff now and then just be like, like, oh, I'm stuck. I need to run. I don't want to just jump off here. So let's just try Jody Selena, and then we'll go BK. Yeah, you're not escaping this. You've got a serious number set. It's either Jody Selena with the number, or it'll be like, you can even do Jody Selena K, but Jody Rowan shows up either where you're at or jump off a cliff. That's basically your only two options. And if you're like, no, I'm stuck, I'm feeling suffocated, and I need to be free, then your next move forward would be going into championship mode. And I again, in your voice, I hear it. I actually like literally hear it in your voice, that this feeling of like, look, she's not kidding around. There's a power inside of there that's waiting to be unleashed. And that 5 is like fire in your eyes. Like you've got an ambition for you or inside of you that doesn't want to just sit down and just take her lumpy oatmeal. You're like, no, get me moving into the place I want to go. Where are you right now? 1968. So you're like,
old.
Is this like 51?
No, just this year.
This year, okay. So you still gotta, like, this is challenging. Like, you know, the 2 and 29, like the 11, it's like it has its level of challenge in relationship or challenge in partnership. So, you know, and by the time you're this age, you're like, you've mastered a lot of this stuff. So I would imagine that this push off the cliff should help you. Otherwise, you'll find, no, this was too far in, and we can come up with something a bit more complicated. But keeping things simple, this one works really well. Do you feel it, or are you not feeling it?
I do feel it, actually. It's aligning really well.
It feels like you're plugging something into you, and like a Christmas tree is getting lit up here. Like it feels almost like the electricity is moving through you. Be careful with these numbers, guys. Be careful with yourselves. This is your life we're talking about. This isn't a game. This isn't just a business. This is your existence. So I appreciate that. Any questions at all about your numbers or anything you've been dying to ask me?
No, not really. Just I've going through the motions. I've only been in the business for a few months, and I've got lots of leads. They're just not converting. So I think that this is the push up the bum that I need. Just changing that letter.
It's going to get more serious, and it's absolutely going to get more on purpose. So in case some of those leads start falling off, it's because your old name got them, and you're going to start to attract a higher level caliber of person. But you also must become a higher level caliber of person, and you're up for the challenge. I know you. I know your numbers is up for the challenge. You're like, challenge? What do you mean? Of course I'm up for the challenge.
Bring it.
Cool. Bring it. Absolutely. Okay. How about Marija? Are you with us? Marija, you here? going to pull you in. If you can, unmute yourself. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Great to connect with you. I love your
Thank
life
you.
path. Your numbers here speak a lot for love and a lot for there's a strong level of intuition. That's sevens, the 7 for July and the 7 for 1978. That level of intuition is strong and it's powered by the heart. So we've got a loving connection in there. You've climaxed at a point for leadership. So in the middle of all this quiet level is this woman who wants to lead and wants to help people move forward. But your name, when it started, it's very similar to Angel. This is a very strong number. You're very welcome, Jody. I appreciate you. It's a very strong connection to sacrifice for others. Like you're an answer to people's prayers. Okay.
Well, it's actually Maria Christova. It's pronounced as Maria, but that's how it's spelled in our language.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't know. Sometimes I just butcher the name. That's okay. I appreciate you for correcting me. So Maria Christova, is it Christova? Okay, Christova.
So in our religion or tradition means Maria Mary Christova Christ. That's what the name really stands for. Okay. And I used to have the name in my business without the J initially. So it was Maria without the J, L Christova. So I did change a couple of times though.
Okay. You're not far off from massive levels of power. These names are like, look where your vibrations are sitting. If you take the letter H, Q, Z, F, or X on top of Maria Todorova, you have
That's my married name, but I haven't legally changed it yet. So I'm still going by all my documents with Christova.
So what are you thinking? I mean, we're talking about you showing up on Facebook. So do you want to show up with Christova?
That's what I am at the moment. So Todorova, that's just the name that I've been married. But I used to use Todorova, but I changed it to Christova back again. So there's consistency across the pages.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So maybe we'll keep it then instead of rocking the boat.
Yep.
Okay, so what about taking this vibration and then we're moving it back up? We would want to move Maria with a D, an M, or a V. If you were to take this vibration, you're back up to a value of Queen vibration. So, I mean, quite simply put. Or you could take D, E, F, X, or O. So Maria X Hystrova, Maria F Hystrova, or Maria O. So those would also work, but then we're moving higher up even still. So when I'm like heart-centered, but if you want to keep moving up, if you're like, yeah, no, I'm not, I'm going to operate more from the mind and more from the power than I will from the heart, it's totally up to you. Does any one of those, let me just quickly write this back out again so I can kind of see.
Even if it's without the J, like what about if it's Maria without the J?
Sure.
Because it's...
Yeah, let's try that.
How would that work?
Let's see what we got here. So let's go Maria Christova. Okay, so what we would do here is add an N or a W. So it would be like Maria W or Maria N, but it doesn't look like you're escaping a powerful name. It, like, if you take an E, you could go down and just go down into like a fun, maybe I'll just have some fun for a while. But other than that, we were talking about big numbers and big letters, and this looks like a big energy vibration of massive level of leader.
I like the W.
Yeah, you sound kind of like Shar a little bit, like I mean business. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. So Maria W. Hystrova. And then again, doing this for your business page would be very, very practical, important. Right now, Maria L. Hystrova, this is a fighting zone. This is a fighter name. This is not a name for business. This is a name for a championship. And you're probably like, yeah, I'm going to win at this business. Like, yeah, but you want to make money. Like, you don't want to win over your client. You want them to win with you. So it's a value.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that. So can we put that as well for the business name?
Sure.
What about questions?
That's what I had. Well, I had Maria L. Christova, and I noticed that I had, like, within a couple of weeks, I had all these leads and actually made my first sale yesterday that was attracted back from, a month ago. Yay, I know. And then I thought, oh, someone told me, no, let's put it with the J. So I did put it with the J, and now it's just been like quiet. So I still get a lot of likes on my pages and engagement, but that's where it stops.
Yeah, with Maria L. Hystrova, it was not as powerful as this. This is going to take more of those leads and start moving them more into action. So we absolutely love the way that this one looks. This is like supreme level power for women and on fire. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Very, very blessed to be able to do this. This feels really good, guys. Okay, Renee, are you with us?
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. Write it in the chart. Renee, are you with us? Do you want to unmute? I can see you there muted, no camera on, so I'm not sure if you're going to be watching us or paying attention. Renee, are you there? I can't unmute you. No, I was going to try to unmute you. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is we're going to come back to Renee in a minute, and then if she doesn't answer, hey, how are you?
Sorry, I've just got RAA here, which is roadside assist, so I had my earphones out for a moment, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Welcome back. How are you?
Oh, far out. I'm all right. I'm good, actually. I'm good.
Well, it's great to connect with you, and thank you so much for being here. This Life Path 8 businesswoman, but then that May, let's throw a wrench in it. Let's just have to call RAA here and get some stuff figured out. Jimmy, our connection, and do things like this. It's no big deal. I get it, but there's a lot of passion. You're someone who we want to become very, very successful. We see this. The Life Path 8, you carry the dreams of us all. This is like the money-making number right up front. And this is going to make everything else super irritating until you create levels of wealth. Like there is like, God damn it, I know I can do this. What's my deal? How come I can't figure it out? Like, what am I missing? The 8 wants a solution. So what I would be suggesting is that we either move the J into another letter, or we add an E at the end of Joy and we go Renee Joy Jones. You could do something like that. Or if you want to take the J out, you know, we could run with another version of you, depending on what you're feeling. Actually, Renee Jones with the letter doesn't help us. And actually, Renee J. Jones with a letter doesn't help us either. So realistically, the best thing that I could suggest would be Joy like that. Renee Joy Jones, Joye. You could also go something like that, Joy E or Renee E. Joy Jones. Do you have any thoughts about this? How about Renee Joy?
Yeah, Renee Joy's fine. I've always thought Jones is a bit, you know, a bit like Smith, a bit common.
Yeah, okay. So Renee Joy still needs a letter though. So what we would do is we would be putting you have an option here. So we have an option for doing something like Renee Joy N, or Renee N Joy, or Renee W Joy, or Renee E Joy, or you could just go Renee Joy like that. Would work really well. I'm just gonna write some of these out. So we have Renee Joy with an N or a W. I'm just going to quickly cut this out, and we're going to go Renee Joy with an N or a W. Shows up here. So you have a power level vibration, and then you also have the letter E, and the letter E shows up as just like fun, or not fun, but a little bit more boring. So not as fun, just a bit more simple. And I'm we can't do that. Not with a Life Path 8. There's no way. And that would be one of them. And then there is also O, P, G, P, or Y. So then this is the bigger one, G, P, or Y. So you have a choice, and you can go like to the top end. See, this is probably where you need to be. Like just between us, you probably need to be Renee G, Renee P, or Renee Y Joy. You could even write Renee Joy with 2 Y's on it. And just is that the one? That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's the one when people are like, that's the one, like, yeah. This is what happened to Balazs.
I just don't want to have to explain where those bogus letters come from. Like Joy. Yep.
And this is exactly how you're going to avoid having to do that. The same way I took F. My middle name was Francisco. I didn't want to take a weird letter. But this vibe is exactly what happened to Balazs. He took a Life Path 8, and he put a name path 8 on top of it. And if you've got the next 10 years to invest in with us, I imagine you're going to be in an extraordinarily powerful position by that time. But it will help you finally even out the playing field. Like, finally, this is exactly what you need to help you move forward into the next direction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Business pages as well. Okay. We're gonna change both.
Yep.
Scary. Scary. Sorry you have to go. Thanks, Jody, for watching. I appreciate you for being here. We're coming close to the end, guys, so we're only going to be another few minutes before we move forward and give you guys some of your goodies and your gifts. So what about Stephanie? Is Steph here? Are you with us?
Thanks, Bobby.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to connect with you and help you out. Looks like Stephanie is not present, so we're going to have to connect with her later. But I will at least tell you this. Life Path 11, me too. I get you. There's a power of your stability, but this is overtly loving. You care much more about others than you will about yourself. The biggest challenge we're going to have with Steph's numbers are about self-love. When we're looking at a name, it's very difficult to give you something right away because seeing as you're not here, I would say Stephanie U. Holgate would be the one that I would go with if I was you. And that would help me quite a bit to get you into an 8765. And then when we're talking about Stephanie B. Holgate, I would probably just go and do Stephanie C. Holgate. And then that way it's, or even actually, no, I would go Stephanie B.A. Holgate. And that's how I would line up Stephanie. And if you want Steph, we can definitely flirt with the idea of doing things like Steph Holgate or something that shows up there. So these are just my ideas and insights around this. But guys, this and great. We're right at the mark. I just want to thank you guys a lot for being here and doing this with me. I know that this was information overload, and sometimes the mind has to clock right out to sort of like put this whole thing together. But I did want to give you guys some bonuses and some gifts and some understanding about what happens when you work with me, okay? So people work with me, and I know that my prices are a little American, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this looks like. I have 15, 30-minute, 60-minute, and 90-minute sessions, okay? When you work with me for 15 minutes, it's an $88 fee. I work with you for 30 minutes and $156. When I work with you for $268 for a 60-minute and $333 for a 90-minute session. What I wanted to do for you guys was I was going to say, you know what? Let's take off the cost of the ticket in US dollars, okay? So if you guys want to pay the private session to work with me one-on-one, this is your price to work with it. It's still in US, and I do take payment plans. It's 50 US a week. So in case you do want to work with me, your discounts will be for 60 and 90 minutes, and I will take off the price of your ticket, plus I will do that in American. So I'm not going to do that in Australian. I'm going to stretch your dollar a little bit further for you and give you guys discounts to work with me, because you're going to want to one day when your team grows and you want to go to the next level. If there are any other questions, you guys can absolutely either drop them in the chart or in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. Maria, yes, you do. You're going to get a written report. You guys may have heard about these written reports. They are it's an instruction manual for your life. It includes a 1-year report. It includes a 1-year forecast, okay? To know the value of what's happening in there is unbelievable. It will help you plan things like buying or selling a house, getting in or out of a marriage, having family, whatever it is you're going through. A massive level of alignment is in your value of your calendar. I wanted to give you guys some free stuff, some freebies. And the freebies I've got for you guys is that report is something I give to you guys all because you guys paid to be here, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then what I wanted to do is if you give me a testimonial, if you do go live, if you do like a video that I can use for my marketing, if you go like this has to be in video form, okay? So if you just post, you just make a post about it, sorry, okay? No. But if you do a video, if you film me or record me a 1 minute or 2 minute, if you go live, or if you do a testimonial video by yourself or whatever, I will give you 2 reports So now suddenly you got one for your kid or one for your husband or your wife or your partner or the best leader in your business. I will give you another one. You just tag me and then you message me and say, hey, Bobby, and then you let me know what their full name is, what their birthday is, and I will give that to you. If any of you guys go on and we work together, when we work together, it looks like an interview or a go live or like something we do together, or we can film a Zoom. And you get a chance to interview me for your audience, because you're probably going to be like, dude, I have this crazy experience. I got to share this with everybody. You'd be doing the universe a very big favor by allowing this information to expand. What I do for people in this case is I give like a bonus or like a free gift or like a free live reading, or I can do something like an extra 15-minute bonus to any booking that people book. So it's like an $88 value, but we'll come up with something fun that you guys can give to your audience so that you can show up and be like, oh my God, like, Bobby gave me this really cool promo and it's totally on for any of you guys. If any of you are like, that's it for me, I don't need to do this anymore, I got the name I need and I'm done, I'm fine, I get to take this into power, you can share this deal with anyone. You can say, just give me a group chat. If you don't plan on using this, please give it to someone in your pod, give it to someone in your group. Someone else is going to really enjoy a discount to work with me. I would love to do that with them. Unfortunately, payment plans don't apply. Okay, so that's that feeling. Then for some of you, the really ambitious, I charge $26.99 US for this program. It's insane, okay? When I get a chance to do this for you guys, it's going to be $22.22 AUD. So if anybody wants to come in and actually do that, it's a huge savings in comparison. And I do obviously do payment plans for that as well. Maria says, sorry, I missed it. If we want to book a 60-minute private session for us, it's $157 US instead of my original $268 US. I'm subtracting the value of your price you paid on your ticket in US dollars. So instead of like just getting a straight up discount, I'm also going to give you the price, stretch it over US so that it's over and over. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this, the reason why I'm telling you this right now, the reason why I'm giving you guys extra discounts than what I usually give my group sessions, it's because I have a thing for Sarah and Vaughn. I do have a thing for Shar. You guys have been so good to me. This team, this family has been so good to me that I just can't help but give back to you guys in every single way that I can. Usually I do one of these. I do one thing where I get a chance to work with people or I give a chance to do reports or something. But the fact that I'm piling them all on for you guys, it's because this is my family. And I really, 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 really appreciate everything that you guys have done for me and everything that you continue to do for me and my family. You guys have blessed us with your dollars. That's not a small thing. So I want to open this up to questions. I know we're at the 3-hour mark, just over it. Is there anything anyone needs to ask, anything that's on their mind before we let this go? I'll let you unmute yourself and interrupt me. But if there isn't, or you don't have anything to write in the chat, what I'm going to end up saying is I appreciate you, every single one of you, Tina, Lucy, Sasha, Melissa, Ange, Bruce, Mel, Kelly, Nicole, Melissa, Rachel, Jody, Maria, Renee, Steph. I appreciate you guys so much for sharing your evening or sharing your afternoon with me to allow me to use this in my marketing campaign to help people get better. You guys are going to attract a better level of people. You take this moment to recognize this isn't the same group of people that walked in here. This is not the same group of hurt and broken entrepreneurs that were here the first time. Now you guys are all lined up magnetically, numerologically, spiritually, astrologically, whatever you want to call it. You guys have the hidden missing ingredient in your name now. Walk forth in power. As Tina says, go forth and prosper. Like, absolutely, you guys have power here now, and it is such a wonderful thing to be able to share this with you. So I appreciate you guys so much for everything. Just notice, I don't want it to end. the Zoom number on the Zoom call ends with 1111. I've done that on purpose, absolutely. I'll also invite you guys back again. I will do another group session at the end of the month. If you want to tell your team and tell the people inside of your session, hey guys, I want you guys to get in there. At the end of the month, Bobby's doing it again. And if they're your referral, I'm going to do it for $111 AU again, okay? So right now that session is $111 US for the beginning of June, end of May, okay? That's the session I'm doing at the end of the month. For you guys, for you it'll be free. For you guys coming back in, it's yours, okay? Don't worry about paying it. But if you want to extend this and get other people in there, because you got a small little budding team now, put them in there and let them know Bobby's going to hook us up, okay? Bruce says, Booby, what would happen if I add an H to my business name? Because you called me Booby, I'm not going to answer that. Just kidding. But the painful childhood memories are flooding back in. So let's see here. If you add Bruce, let's go back to Bruce. You don't add H to Bruce Min. If you go Bruce Min and you want to add something to it, it's going to be B, K, or T. So you would go Bruce Min T, or Bruce Min K, or Bruce K Min, or Bruce T Min, or Bruce B Min, and this will absolutely move you back up. But do not put Bruce H Min. It will take you off of the Vibe for Business. It is not the way to do it. Bruce McClure will work. H will work there, but not inside of Bruce Min. You would need a different set of numbers to do this. Makes sense? You could go like this. You could go Bruce Min H McClure, or Bruce H McClure and then Min. That would work, but you wouldn't do Bruce H Min. No, you would just go Min and then either a BK or T, or you would go up even higher and go D, M, or V to go even further. So Bruce D Min, Bruce M Min, or Bruce V Min. Let me know if something like that calls you, and then I'll come back for you at the same time here. But Bobby, I didn't feel like I got an explanation to what the name change will do for me or what my numbers are saying. So Renee, let's go back into this for a minute. Okay, so what the name does for you now. You were dealing with a situation before. The situation before was that your numbers were not traveling as high as the 8. It was working against your vibe. Your 8 vibration is like, look, where's the solution? What do I need to know? I'm a business person here. I absolutely got to figure this out. Sorry, you're going to add? Okay, so the value of the 8 life path, you need to be a boss. You absolutely have to be in control and in charge. With names that don't go as high, frustrated. This isn't working. People aren't listening. I can't communicate this properly. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. It's going to work against your vibration of solution artist wizard. Let me know. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do here. Like woman in power. And it's tough because you got a lot of passion. You're like, I don't care. I'm just going to figure this out anyway. And this is like, you definitely have a lot of passion inside of your birthday. Your name, however, is giving you a challenge to the self. It's definitely a challenge to the self. Okay, so Bruce came in. We like that. It's a much more higher vibe. Thank you. I like it. And then what we'll do is we'll get back to Renee here as well quickly. Good choice. Nice upgrade. So when we're looking at now your name, Renee Joy, the frustration is different now. The frustration is about the learning curve, not about dealing with the fact that I'm not stepping up to my own true power or that I'm not actualizing on who I am. Can you give me an idea as to, there you go, Maria's changed it and approved immediately. Nice. Can you voice this for me? I want to hear you say this. I don't feel like I got an explanation to the name change, what it will do for me or my numbers are saying. Expand on this for me. What's going on? If you're talking, I can't hear you. Renee, you're quiet on me. Let me know if you can, if you want to, you can voice it, but unfortunately I can't hear you. So in case you've muted by accident or the phone cut dead or something, but if you can type in and let me know that you can hear me, and then I'll get right back to you. But the value that's showing up inside of your name now is that your name path, your life path, see each other eye to eye. let's get to business. Let's actually do something powerful here. What you say starts to come true. That's already true. What you say, what you think about, you bring about. The problem is that up until now, we haven't been thinking or dealing with the most positive energy because of how small and fiddly the other versions of your name were challenging you. The most powerful part of your path was the fact of your birthday. So it was crazy to think that happens, okay? So if you want to dive in a little bit further, let me know or just type in. But it looks like your microphone's frozen on, so I'm not sure if you're still with us or not. But Nicole's saying, do we change both page names? It really depends, Nicole. If you want to take something a bit easier for your personal page, I don't blame you, because this is a extremely powerful name. Like, look at Melissa and Jody for a second. They took more human names, and then on business, they're like, screw it, I'm going to the top end. I'm going to go to the top. So this is where we see the value and the upgrade of their business name. But if you're feeling like I'm going to do this everywhere, then great, do it everywhere. But if you are feeling like, no, it's a bit too much, I want a bit of an easier ride, then we can go back here and find out an easier initial for Nicole L. Shake in case you want to use it that way. But in your case, when you change both, that might give me a bit of hesitation because I'm the type of guy who wants to be around my family and I want to be there. So Renee says, oh my God, I'm so sorry I've had such a bad tech day. Are you able to send me the recording? Absolutely. Yes, I can. I absolutely will be able to send it to you. I will post it for you guys so that you have it. And negative tech days suck. So it's okay. Give yourself a pat on the back for doing what you did. You rigged it up really well. But you will get a recording and it will be unhindered. And then don't feel like you lost anything. If any of you feel like we have to take this conversation offline, I am here to do that with you. Maria's saying, hey, sorry, can I ask if you can check for my private page without the W? So without the W, Maria Hystrova would need another letter. Let's try it. I wouldn't be doing that. The lowest I would take Maria Hystrova would be with a W or with an N. If you put the J in there, then it would be a D, an M, or a V instead of the N. But either way, you would be putting a letter in there to absolutely boost that thing up. Maria Hystrova, without the W, massive level of challenge. And we're talking Maria without the J. Massive level of self-challenge, the same way Renee was experiencing it in her life. This can crush you, and it's not an easy thing to handle because you'll just be out there sacrificing for everyone else. And it's a challenge. It's not easy. The reason why we find numerology to be so insightful and powerful is because we want to focus in on wealth vibe, not the challenge me and screw me over vibe that seems to be what we live in life. Not everybody gets a chance to do this, guys. So this is a very, 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 very spiritually powerful. I do not take this for granted. I appreciate all of you guys so much for this. It's been a lot of very, very powerful. Hey, Sashi, Bobby say, hey, Bobby, I've been writing out my name over and over and over again, and I don't think I'm feeling it. So let's go back to Sashi K. Cross. What about, do we do Sashi B or Sashi? I mean, like, because hey, Sashi D. Cross is not bad, but you could also add a letter to Sashi D. Cross. So you could add something in top of that, and let's just take a look at what that would look like. So Sashi D. Cross, if you were to put something back on here, I would be putting DG, DP, or DY. So you could go DG cross, DP cross, or DY cross. Does any of those feel a little bit better? You can unmute yourself if you want.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what it is.
It's okay. Honestly, it could be that you need a couple of days. It could be that this isn't the right name. Are you willing to extend this out and make it a little bit longer to see what we got?
Yeah, definitely.
So because this could be right? Like Sashi A. Donna or Sashi Donna with 2 A's in it. Or you can even do Sashia. That's kind of not right? So we go Sashi Donna, would show up as a really powerful version of you as well. Well, no, Donna with a double A or Donna with an A somewhere or a J or an S. So there are other ways to show up with your name. even Sashi Donna's. But we would want to put something else in there. If it's not cross, we tried a lot of these, right? We tried, let's go Sashi Cross, and then how about Ram? Ram X was good, or X Ram, but that's just, something sounds a little bit too gimmicky. And then how about Donna, Sashi Donna Cross? See, you could be taking something like this, Sashi Donna Cross. See this one with the extra A in there? It's got a nice vibe that says 628. So it brings in a level of communication and a level of power and connection to others. This is more like your chart. So that's not a bad look either, in case you're liking something like that. Or you could take something a little bit more fun and go like, let's say you spell cross with 2 S's. Or actually, that looks a little weird. How about Sashi Donna's Cross, or Sashi Donna S Cross, or Sashi Donna J Cross? This now shows up as fun. So now you're entering a lot more of enjoyment and a lot more fun and a lot less strategy and a lot less like pain or like emotion. Just much more about the intuition and the passion behind you. So this could speak for a bit more of the fun side of you. But do some of these names work a little bit better?
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to book an extra session with you.
I understand, and this is why I'm telling people, I'm like, look, I'm gonna subtract what you paid today, because a lot of people are like, dude, I need to sit with you and hash this out, and I don't want to make you guys feel like I'm just trying to take your money. Like, no, I want to make you money. So I appreciate that. If you do want to book in with me, just let me know privately and say, hey, Bobby, I'm gonna get this done. I want to work with you, and I'm absolutely gonna help you out with that. But yes, good. Thanks again, Bobby. I gotta go. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Sashi, I appreciate you as well for giving me that patience and figuring it out. It could even just be like Sashi B Cross or Sashi T Cross. So depending on how it works, okay? Do you go by anything shorter than Sashi? I guess Sash doesn't work, or Sasha doesn't show up.
Nah, I don't go by anything else.
Okay, so let's keep it. Let's connect together when we have that, and we can do this properly when we need to. And so you know that those are your choices, options as well. Watch the replay if you guys have questions. If you do need to work with me, you do want to, I'd be blessed to have this. Thank you guys, or your business. Thank you guys so much again for being here. It's been an absolute powerful. Yeah, how about Sashi C? Let's just try it. No, doesn't work. It would be like Sashi CA or Sashi CS. But a little bit, it wouldn't be just Sashi C. Now for written reports, it's going to take me a while to put them all together. I have booked my calendar free tomorrow so that I can get it all done. I'm going to try to get some of them done early tomorrow, but we're in different time zones. So by this time tomorrow, all of you will have yours. But until then, be patient with me and expect a message from me personally to thank you and also to give you your written reports, okay? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody for being here, for sticking in with me. I will post a replay in the group. And thank you. Go tell social media. I appreciate you guys. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. All right? Take care. Bye. See you guys. Take care.